You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
Let the good times roll with the fun of Kernel Baseball in The Zone.
Bring your family, bring your friends. This is where the fun never ends. Everybody knows when you're at the game. The good times roll. Hey, Kernels, let the good times roll. Cedar Rapids Kernels, let the good times roll.
With the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, here's the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
And the Labor Day weekend culminates with the curtain dropping on the regular season. The Kernels and Kane County Cougars in the fourth and final game of this exciting stretch the Kernels have played, winning 10 of their last 15 games. Eliminated last night, but didn't go down without a fight, losing to the Cougars 8-5, bouncing back from a 7-2 hole to really take a run at Kane County. Although the Kernel playoff hopes were dashed last night, the Kernels still hope to play a role in deciding who does make the playoffs and finish at the 500 mark in the season's second half. Beautiful Labor Day afternoon, and we're glad you're with us. Next up on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, a special guest. Stay tuned. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
Before the final regular season game of the 2005 campaign on Labor Day, a man who works just as hard off the field as the Kernels do on it, Ron Pline, the Kernel equipment manager, known as the Roadrunner, is our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest. And, Rody, for those that don't know, why does everybody call you Rody or Roadrunner? They call you that much more than they do by your real name, Ron Pline.
Because I used to run a little fast. Now I'm slowing down quite a bit because my age is 61 years old.
Haven't slowed down that much, Rody. How many years have you been in the game, and what do you mean by running?
I run that for foul balls when they go down the line, and I've been in baseball 31 years.
You started in what city?
Quad Cities.
Before that, though?
Oh, in Dubuque, where I live at for a couple of years.
You have a souvenir from Dubuque. A lot of Cub fans in eastern Iowa know the name of Billy Williams, Hall of Fame outfielder. What did you get from Billy Williams in Dubuque?
Oh, he gave me one of them helmets, batting helmets and that, and I just kept it for a while. It's around the house somewhere.
You have a lot of mementos and souvenirs, don't you, Rody?
Oh, yeah, I got cards and from Cubs and everything, and I just kept them.
You have team pictures, too.
Yeah, team pictures and that, and from Cedar Rapids and that, and Quad Cities.
Rody, when you were in Quad Cities, describe what the ballpark was like.
When this ballpark was like, it was kind of bad. It was kind of skunks laying around and running around there. Players holler, "Hey, Rody, come get your family." I ain't gonna get it. You go get your own family.
You mean with those the skunks came off the river right off the banks of the Mississippi, and the skunks actually got on the ball field?
Yeah, they got on the ball field right in center field with the whole family. And then they had to stop the game for a while until they got off the field.
Boy, Rody, that's a great memory. So, too, the time that Roosevelt, the bus driver, there's an interesting story. The Quad Cities Ball Club used to have their own bus, didn't they?
Yeah, they had their own bus and that. Well, it wasn't a very good shape bus, but it was an old one.
An old rickety bus, and then describe what happened before a game, I think somewhere up in Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin, Rosie's buses kind of caught on fire, and the players, he thought the players were joking around. I said, Rosie, he's not joking. Your bus is on fire.
That old rickety bus actually caught on fire.
Yep, they caught on fire. They had the fire department there, and I put it out before the fire department got there.
Roadie Ron Klein, the Kernel Equipment Manager, is our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest. And, Roadie, I wondered if you could describe to our listeners, after a home game, a night home game, what is the routine you normally go through to get things ready for the very next game at home?
Well, I get the laundry as soon as the game's over. I get the food for the visiting team and umpire stuff, and then our coaches and that. And then after that, when we get the laundry going, uniforms going, and stuff like that, and get ready, and then get the wet stuff going.
How big of an area do you have to do to get all that done? What is your equipment like in the new stadium?
It's nice and that and everything. It's nice.
How many washers and how many dryers?
We got 3 washers and 3 dryers and 1 household, but that still helps out.
Let's say a game gets over at 10 o'clock at night. What time will you be going to bed that night or that morning?
Oh, it depends on it. Go to bed about 2 o'clock or 3 in the morning.
And then what time do you get up?
7.
And you're 61 years old?
Yep, 61 years old.
How do you keep that pace up?
I just keep it up and just wake up. I wake up at 4 in the morning sometimes.
And the new stadium was built with you in mind. Would you describe to our listeners your living environment? You don't live in an apartment or in a house in Cedar Rapids. You live right in the stadium, don't you?
I live right in the stadium. I got a little apartment there they built for me. When I do see a bed.
Yeah, when you do see a bed, which is very rare because you're working so hard. Roadie, what do the guys do in terms of dues? How much do they pay for this wonderful service you provide, doing their laundry and taking care of all their uniform and equipment? What do they pay and how often do they pay it?
They pay twice a month, and that is $40 a month. And they're the 1st and the 15th.
Okay, $40 a month times 25 guys is just about $900.
Nah, not less than that.
But is that enough to cover it?
Oh, yeah, that's enough to cover stuff.
These guys are hungry. You call them hounds. They're young kids. After batting practice, what privilege do you allow or do you provide them?
I give them peanut butter, jelly, oranges, apples, bananas, hamburger, or hot dogs, either one.
And they can eat it.
Oh, yeah, they can eat.
Brody, you've been such a part of the Angel organization that they even have you come out when for spring training.
Oh, they come out and have out in February. I go down to spring training and get stuff ready for down there, help them out.
Do you spend the whole month of March where?
In Mesa. Well, it's going to be Tempe, Arizona next year.
A new facility?
Yeah, a new facility. They're when they're building.
Ron Klein, the Kernel Equipment Manager, is our guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. He does he's the best in the league as far as taking care of everything that needs to go into getting a team ready to play every day in this game of baseball. And we'll wrap things up with Roadie, the Roadrunner, next from Philip Elstrom Stadium on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show here in the Zone.
I cannot see anyone but you. Baby, can't you see I know what's right for me? Don't tell me wrong from right. I know just what I like. Yeah, call me crazy, I don't care. Come feel the joy all around. Each generation has found they got their own kind of sound. I'm just shouting out. Bye, 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 bye. With that fire,
We've been telling you for some time that Greg's Lawn Service is a cut above the rest when it comes to caring for your lawn. However, Greg's experienced staff does so much more than lawn care. They offer complete landscape design and installation, concrete curb edging, grading, sodding, and hydro seeding. Yes, Greg's is a complete lawn care service, and they welcome the opportunity to show you why they are a cut above the rest. Give Greg's a call for more details about their wide range of services.
Roadrunner Ron Klein, the Kernel Equipment Manager, is our guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. And Roadie, after the Anaheim Angels, they're now called the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, after they won the 2002 World Series, they presented you with something I don't think you'll ever forget.
Yeah, they give me a ring, World Series ring.
That's pretty big stuff. It meant a lot to you.
Oh, yeah, it meant a lot to me. That's the first time I ever got a World Series ring like that.
What do you do with it?
Well, I kept that put away.
It's worth about how much?
I can't say that. I don't want to say that.
But it is valuable.
It's valuable.
And then, Rhodey, you have some championship rings from the Midwest League, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I got 2 of them from there, 1990 in Quad Cities and 94 in CR.
And, Rhodey, I know that part of what you enjoy doing is interacting with the players, and since this is our last regular season game of the year, I wanted you to tell our listeners what kind of guys these kids are.
Oh, they're real nice and everything. They get along with them. Once in a while, you got to yell at them. Once in a while, get things straightened up around their clubhouse. But they do a good job. They do.
They work hard, don't they?
Oh, yeah, they work hard, and they know I work hard to keep that place clean, and they keep it clean, too.
Well, finally, Rhodey, you're the only clubhouse manager who travels on the road with the team. You and I share a lot of meals together. We've been friends for 10 years. What do you do when the ball club is on the road?
Well, depends on what. I make sure the hotel does their laundry right and stuff like that, and make sure it's in the right bag and it's folded right, and if they're not at the hotel, do it right.
And when we get back home after today's Labor Day game, you get very busy.
Oh, yeah, everybody, that place will be like a madhouse for a while because everybody will be clearing their lockers out and everything, put stuff in where they belong, and they get ready to take off, they will.
What kind of baseball equipment do the guys get to take with them?
They'll get 3 bats, the position players, and the pitchers will get 3 baseballs.
Well, Rhodey, thank you very much. You do an outstanding job for this ball club in your 31st year in baseball?
Yeah, 31 years in baseball.
Well, congratulations on another great season. Rhodey, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's Ron Klein, Colonel Equipment Manager, the one and only Roadrunner, our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest. The final game of the season comes next. Kernels and Cougars from suburban Chicagoland. This has been the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show in the Zone.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
Labor Day weekend traditionally signals the end of summer and the beginning of fall, and we have a gorgeous late summer, early fall Labor Day afternoon to pull the curtain down on the Colonel regular season. The Colonels fighting valiantly all the way until the final out of last night's 8-5 Cougar win. Eliminated from the playoffs, but certainly intent on ending the season on a high note, and that would mean a win here against Kane County. The Cougars have all the things in their favor heading down the stretch, but a Colonel win here this afternoon and a Beloit Snapper win at Pullman Field against Wisconsin, and the Colonels would eliminate the Cougars. So they have plenty of motivation, including the outlook of a 500 second half. A Colonel win would make it 35-35. John Rogers with you, ready to give you the starting lineup in this final game of the season. And Todd Brummelkamp, if he's feeling up to it, will have the middle 3 innings for you. Todd drove all the way over from the city of Five Seasons, his home actually in North Liberty, and he is standing by hoping. He's feeling a little bit under the weather, but we'll hope that he can bring us the middle 3 innings here this afternoon. As I look down on the diamond, I see that Joe Dobo will be the plate umpire this afternoon, and Jeff Lascola on the bases. That's the way it was supposed to be yesterday or last night, but they flip-flop for some reason. Our Anderson and Brown Eye Care umpiring crew, Joe Dobo behind the plate, Jeff Lascola on the diamond. They're receiving the lineup cards being presented by both ball clubs now. For Kane County, the Cougars have beaten the Colonels 7 out of 11 times during the regular season and have won the last 2 in this series, 6-5 in the 9th inning last night, 8-5, or Saturday night rather, last night 8-5. The Kernels won the series opener 4-2. The Cougars are skippered by Dave Joppy. He's a Grand Rapids, Michigan native, and they have the same lineup this afternoon as they did last night in their quest to nail down a playoff berth with their second half record of 36-33. Overall, Kane County is 67-71. Leading off, switch hitting shortstop out of Texas A&M for the Cougars, Cliff Pennington. Nick Flazy reached base 4 times in the Cougar win last night, scored twice, drove in a run. He is batting second, and he's in left field. Hitting third, Travis Buck. Buck is batting third and playing right field for Kane County. Eddie Kim will bat cleanup, and Kim is at first base for the Cougars. Batting fifth, third baseman Myron Leslie. He's tied for fifth in the league with 32 doubles. Javier Herrera will be in center field. He'll hit sixth for Kane County. Batting seventh, a 2-run homer yesterday. He also homered in the series opener, Tommy Everidge. David Castillo will catch and hit eighth. And batting ninth, 6 hits in the series at second base, Gregorio Petit. On the hill, a lefty from Florida State University, Trent Peterson. Trent is making his 7th start of the year, 8 relief appearances. He's won 3 and lost 2, an ERA of 3.30. Trent Peterson, 23-year-old southpaw from Florida State, Wednesday in Battle Creek, Michigan, led the Cougars to a 7-2 victory over the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays. In that start Wednesday night, Peterson went 6 1/3, surrendered 2 runs on 6 hits, struck out 3, and walked 1. The league hitting .271 against southpaw Trent Peterson. As always, Allen Motor Company proud to bring you the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Remember, General Motors employee discount pricing has been extended through this month of September at Allen Motor Company. Sean Rodriguez has had a fabulous final 3 weeks of the year. He's at shortstop leading off. Batting second, Nate Sutton, the second baseman. Freddy Sandoval is tied for third in the league with 34 doubles. Sandoval will play the hot corner and bat third for the Kernels. The Kernel cleanup batter is third in the league in homers, Drew Toussaint. Drew has 21 home runs, and he's in left field. Hitting fifth, Todd Brummelkamp had a word with him before this afternoon's ball game. Jordan Renz, the DH. Jordan is primed and ready to climb above the 200 mark this season. He's batting .198. He's had his batting average rise almost 25 points in the last 2.5 weeks. Renz, the DH, bats fifth. Warner Madrigal homered in the 9th inning last night. He'll bat sixth and is in right field. Josh LeBlanc will patrol center and hit seventh. Hitting eighth for the Kernels is Chris Walston, the first baseman, and batting ninth, catcher Greg Deeney. On the hill for the Kernels, the leading winner for the Kernels, a 10-game winner. Who'd have thought it when he joined the Kernels early in the spring and was really rocked in his first appearance in Dayton. But Carl Jelena has forged quite a campaign. He's 10-8 with a 4.06 ERA. Carl was a 15-9 winner his last time out, Wednesday at home against the Swing of the Quad Cities. He pitched 6 innings, surrendered to the Swing 3 runs, 2 earned on 9 hits in 6 innings, struck out 2 and walked 1. Carl Jelena, 10 wins, 8 losses, 22-year-old right-hander from Quebec, Canada, is on the hill for the Kernels this afternoon. Well, that's the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Once again, Anderson & Brown Eye Care, the official eyewear provider and eye care provider of the Kernels, sponsors the announcement of our umpires. Joe Dobo behind the plate, Jeff Lascola on the diamond. Anderson & Brown Eye Care not only provides contact lenses, they now offer a full selection of eyeglasses and eyewear. Visit them soon, Anderson & Brown Eye Care. They're next to Intent City, I-380 Boyston Road in Hiawatha. You could not ask for a more lovely afternoon for baseball, Labor Day afternoon here in Geneva, Illinois, 40 miles west of Chicago. Saturday night, over 12,000 saw the Cougars win it in the 9th inning on a 2-out broken bat single by Tommy Everidge. And then yesterday, the Cougars scored 5 of their 8 runs with 2-out hits, and they held off a Kernel rally to knock off the Kernels 8-5. Kane County takes the field in their white home uniforms with white shoes, black hats, black socks, black numbers, trimmed in green and black pinstripes. And as the Cougars take to the diamond on this picture-perfect Labor Day afternoon. The Kernels come out of their third base dugout. Let's pause to honor America here at Philip Elstrom Stadium as one of the ushers will sing the national anthem.
And the other one, the United States of America, joins Ken the Horse in the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose was Christ and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the rampart we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red twelve of the singing men gave through the night that a flag was still there. So save
That's the Star-Spangled Banner as the Kernels and Cougars meet in not only the series finale, but the final regular season game of the season. We've got a sparkling, sunny, warm Labor Day afternoon, and we're delighted that you've included us in your Labor Day entertainment plans. John Rogers, Sports Information Director Todd Brummelkamp reporting from the Chicagoland area. We'll have this afternoon's first pitch when we return in 1 minute here in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
Slightly built lefty, 6'1", 170. Trent Peterson is on the hill this afternoon for Kane County. He was taken in the 5th round by the Athletics in 2003. You may remember him from last year. He started 20 games for the Cougars, won 8, lost 5, a 3.42 ERA. And he's set to go against Sean Rodriguez. He has had a terrific series. Sean, 6 for 12 in the series. An RBI single in the 5th inning last night. Rodriguez hitting .500 in the series. Sean with a couple of home runs in the series. He's batting .252, 14 home runs, 45 runs driven in. Actually, Sean has 1 home run in the series, a couple of doubles that almost put holes in the 8-foot-high padded wall here at Philip Elstrom Stadium. We could be in for a high-scoring affair, and I say that because the ball jumps off the bat and carries here in this ballpark better than any I've seen this season. Granted, this is our only visit to Philip Elstrom, and the wind is blowing across the field, slightly out and also right to left. The first pitch of the game is over for a strike to the Colonel right-handed hitting leadoff batter, Sean Rodriguez. Kernels in their red knit batting practice tops with gray trousers and white numbers. Sean hits a high fly ball into left. It'll be caught by Nick Blasey, who trots in and puts it away with the one-handed grab. Sean hit that pitch off the end of the bat and skies to left. 1 away here in the top of the first inning. Here's Nate Sutton. Nate, a .235 hitter, was saddled with the collar last night, 0 for 5. Nate has finished the season strong in place of the injured Alexi Casilla. Nate, a left-handed batter, facing the southpaw Peterson, and strike 1 on the outside corner from Trent. Peterson, 57 in the 3rd innings pitched on the season, has given up 59 hits, struck out 48 in 57 in the 3rd, walked only 11. So he, like his opponent this afternoon, Colonel right-hander Carl Jelena, has very good control. Myron Leslie, the big third baseman, is playing even with the bag at third and 15 feet off the line. Boy, Myron really struggled in the first series at Veterans Memorial Stadium to open up the season defensively, but he settled down and had a very fine year in the field and at the plate. Sutton slaps the next pitch foul into the screen, and it's 1-2 to Nate Sutton. Big gap in right center with Javier Herrera shading the Colonel left-handed hitter to go the other way. Breaking pitch in the dirt, and that's ball 2 to Sutton. Colonels have had difficulty against lefties this year, batting .242 against southpaws. Colonels have had trouble on the road, batting only .234, but are one game under 500 with this afternoon's action, giving them a chance to reach that coveted 500 mark. And the ball club has won 10 of their last 15 ball games, 13 of which have been on the road, or 11 of which have been on the road. Sutton fouls one over the backstop. And the next one from the lefty is grounded sharply past first, knocked down by Tommy Everidge. He'll recover, but not in time, and we'll wait and see. I'd give Sutton a base hit, and yes, they already have. It's a hit for Nate Sutton. That's not Everidge. That's big Eddie Kim, who had to go behind the base, reach to his left, and knocked that ball down. Nate wrapped it right down the first base line. Big Eddie Kim reached down, blocked it. It then rolled to his right, and when Eddie Kim picked it up, he held on to it. It's an infield single for Nate Sutton. And that brings up Freddy Sandoval, switch hitter batting right. Freddy's batting .281. Throw to first, and Sutton back standing up. The Colonels will lead the Midwest League in stolen bases, and that's a proud accomplishment. 201 stolen bases in 138 games. This is 139. Sandoval 2 for 4 yesterday and last night. Looks at a strike called, a fastball. Freddy's 2-run double in the 6th pulled the Colonels to within 3 of Kane County at 7-4. 5 of the Cougar 8 runs last night were driven in with 2 outs. Sutton has a modest lead with his hands on his knees, and Freddy tries to go the other way and plugs it foul up onto the top of the net behind home plate. Everyone basking in sunshine here this afternoon. No grandstand roof at Philip Elstrom Stadium. And I've said it over the years, more kids come to ball games here than any other stadium or ballpark in the Midwest League. Uh-oh, they have Sutton picked off. Eddie Kim will throw wildly, and interference has been called anyway on Gregorio Petit. Well, I don't know if the throw will be an error or if the interference will override the bad throw by Eddie Kim. It looked like it slipped out of his hand. And I also don't know whether they'll credit Sutton with a stolen base or give him second on interference by the second baseman. But no matter how you score it, Nate Sutton, it is an error on Eddie Kim. Eddie Kim has been charged with just his 5th error of the year. It looked like the ball slipped out of his hand as he was trying to toss it towards second base. And so Sutton, who was picked off, winds up at second. Here's the 0-2 to Freddy. Curve, and he laces it foul off the mask of the Cougar catcher, David Castillo. Kane County is the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the Oakland Athletics. Prior to that, all of my years in the league, they were a Florida Marlins affiliate. And before my time in the league, when they first started playing here in the mid-'90s, early '90s, they were there goes Sutton! A pitch outside, the throw to third, not in time! Save! Nate Sutton with a daring piece of base running is stolen third. Actually, the throw might have been in time, but Myron Leslie lost the handle. Sutton slid hard feet first, and that's Nate's 18th stolen base of the year. The pitch actually looked like it could have been strike 3 to Sandoval, but the plate umpire, Joe Dobo, said it was a ball. So now a ground ball with the infield back would give the Colonels the lead here in the top of the first inning. If you think the Colonels aren't taking this game seriously, you've got another thing coming. Strike 3 called to Freddy Sandoval. That hurt. All Freddy had to do, and I don't want to minimize how hard it is to hit a baseball, but he essentially just needed to put the ball in play on the ground, and the Kernels would have had the lead here in the first inning, but instead you tip your cap to Trent Peterson. He got Freddy looking with a fastball on the inside corner. Drew Toussaint has a 2-out RBI chance. Drew has some added incentive this afternoon. He's 2 RBIs away from the 70 mark, and that's a milestone. The first pitch is a changeup in the dirt for ball 1. Nate Sutton reached on an infield single, advanced to second after he was picked off when Eddie Kim, the first baseman, had the ball slip out of his hand, and then Nate stole third. Swing and a miss as it's slower and slower for the crafty lefty, Trent Peterson. Trent beat Southwest Michigan in his previous start. That was Wednesday in Battle Creek, 7-2. He only gave up 2 runs in 6 1/3 innings. Another changeup, another swing and a miss by the Colonel cleanup batter, strike 2. The guys know what they have to do. They have to wait and take the ball the other way. If you try to pull this guy, you're eating right out of his hand. The wind continues to whip from the first base Cougar dugout towards left center field as a changeup floats outside, and it's 2-2 to Drew Toussaint, 2 out. Sutton at third. We're just underway. Drew, a .261 batter, third in the league with 21 home runs. Singled leading off the 6th inning yesterday and last night. Scored. Swing and a miss. A fastball down and away, and Drew Toussaint strikes out. The Colonels threaten but don't score in the top of the first. No runs, 1 hit, 1 Kane County error, a stolen base. The Colonels had a runner at third with 1 out and did not get him home. And after 1/2 inning, it's the Colonels nothing, the Cougars coming up. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Yes, Cedar Rapids, thanks again for stepping up to the plate and increasing the amount of materials you're recycling. Almost 8,800 tons last year alone. Wow. But we can always do more. The folks at Solid Waste and Recycling remind you, most paper products, cardboard, metals, and glass containers can be recycled. Then you'll be doing your part to reduce waste and save landfill space.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, 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 very much. The end wasn't anywhere in sight, but I didn't even think I would have made it this far. There was a song playing on the radio, but I was listening to what my soul was asking for. What was it? Pillows, fresher than a wave breaking in the ocean, and linens purer than my mama's thoughts. It's really close to the interstate, too, you know.
Brand new beds, same old beaten path. Fairfield Inn, for travelers who know.
The rules of the road.
It's the Marriott way.
Whether you run a small business or a busy household, the UPS store wants you to remember these 6 words.
Don't you worry about a thing.
At the UPS store, we have a lot of different ways to help you. We have packing and shipping experts. We can print, copy, collate, and bind presentations. We can even set you up with a mailbox at our store. So the next time you have a lot to do, just think of these 6 words.
Don't you worry about a thing.
The UPS store, the place for packing and shipping and a whole lot more.
Score as Carl Jelena takes to the hill for the 25th time this season. Boy, have the Colonel starters been durable this year. Fernando Rodriguez making his team-high 28th start yesterday. Jelena making his 25th start. Carl will face switch hitter Cliff Pennington with no score here in the bottom of the first. Kane County's a vastly different team home and away. Here at home, they're hitting .278. On the road, they're batting .246. They pitch much worse at home, though. Their team ERA here at Philip Elstrom Stadium, 5.22, but on the road, 3.89. So if you can figure that one out, you've got a leg up on me. Cliff Pennington stands in, and the first pitch is just outside a fastball to the .280 batter. Out of Texas A&M, first-round pick by Oakland this past June. Cliff has 3 homers, 29 driven in. And the next pitch is driven foul down the left field line. They're in the bottom of the ninth at Fenway Park in a game the White Sox really didn't wish they had to go and play, but they did, and they are leading Boston 5-0 in the bottom of the ninth at Fenway. A ground ball to second, and it takes a nice big hop to Nate Sutton, who throws out Cliff Pennington. One gone here in the Cougar first inning, and that's always good to retire the leadoff batter. Cliff Pennington is wrapped out to second base. We're going to open the booth here, or open this window. Yes, one of the reporters was checking with us. The last report we had was the White Sox leading the Red Sox. Here's a bunt, and it should be a great play by Sandoval, not in time, as beating it out was Nick Blasey, and Blasey picked right up where he left off yesterday. Nick Blasey dropping a bunt down, and Freddy Sandoval hustled in, barehanded it, did everything but throw Blasey out. It's an infield single for Nick Blasey. And when I say pick up right where he left off, yesterday Nick Blasey, 3 for 3, scored twice, drove in a run, walked. So he's reached base 5 times in a row, a .263 hitter. And Nick has 18 steals. He's been caught 1 time. Is he going? Yes, there he goes. A pitch, a strike. The throw by Deeney, not in time. And the Cougars continue to take great liberty with the Colonel pitchers and catchers, no matter who they've been the last 2 games. Controlling the running game. The Colonels have been pretty darn good at it most of the season, but not the last 2 ball games. Nick Blasey with that incredible base stealing percentage, 19 out of 20. Travis Buck took a strike on the outside corner. Greg Deeney had trouble getting the pitch out of his glove. Now a line drive to Freddy. Oh, what a play as he short hops it and wings it across the diamond to Chris Walston. Travis Buck, a one-hop bullet right at the feet of Freddy Sandoval. Freddy Sandoval continues to absolutely dazzle me with his plays on a daily and nightly basis at third base. He's been outstanding all year long. Travis Buck, the left-handed hitter, whistled it hard right at the feet of Freddy, who looked the runner, Blasey, back to second before throwing the batter, Travis Buck, out. Here's Big Eddie Kim, a 2-out, 2-run homer down the right field line in the first inning last night. It was his 12th of the year. And a hot shot to second. Nate Sutton traps it up into his belly and on to first for the out. Eddie Kim hit a one-hop bullet at Nate Sutton, who took care of it. And Carl Jelena pitches around a one-out bunt single and a stolen base and prevents Kane County from breaking out on top in the first inning. No runs, a hit for the Cougars, a stolen base, no Colonel errors. Kane County strands a runner. We go to the second on Labor Day. Regular season finale. Colonels nothing, Cougars nothing. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Do dragonflies really breathe fire? Maybe we can't answer a thought-provoking question like that. But Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance professional at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency, can answer all your insurance questions. Phil Andrews is an insurance expert, and he can help you with all kinds of protection. Auto, home, life, health, and business. Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance agent at Weidenhammer Andrews, has all the right answers for the right insurance coverages for you and your family.
Who has more high school football action? The Zone! Friday night coverage of Premier Metro matchups kicks off with the Radio Iowa Scouting Report at 7:05. Then it's the state's #1 play-by-play guy, the voice of high school football, Scott Unash, and the night's main event. It all wraps up with the Football Friday Night Show, sponsored by Sport Clips, with scores, highlights, and more from across the state. No other station comes close. For complete gridiron coverage that outscores the rest, lock it on the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, the home of high school football. Nothing beats Sunday and Monday night NFL action. But if your butt can't be in the trusty Lazy Boy, you can still get your football fix on the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. Live, bone-crunching primetime football is as close as your radio. Throw into man-man touchdown! The big touchdown today by Peyton Manning. Pro football, right in your ear hole, only on the home of the NFL. The Zone! The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
Colonel D.H. Jordan Renz leads off in the second, no score. He's continuing his quest to finish the season above the 200 mark. He has a 5-game hitting streak going. including 4 for 11 in this series. A fastball on the inside corner to Jordan. Strike one from southpaw Trent Peterson. Wren stands straight away from the right side. And ball one is downstairs to the Colonel number 5 hitter, Jordan Wren. We want to thank Physicians Clinic of Iowa for their great support this season, sponsoring our injury report and taking care of the Colonel players. Jordan Wren lifts one into shallow left. A long run for Blasey. He's there, glasses on, and he snares it. Jordan Wren is flown to shallow left, one away here in the Colonel's second. Physicians Clinic of Iowa. Quality health care close to home in Cedar Rapids. They have 50 board-certified physicians to take care of you in 11 different specialties. And again, thanks to Physicians Clinic of Iowa, Dr. David Terse. The Colonels will undergo physicals before being given the green light to head back to wherever they're going after this regular season, and I would imagine it will be Dr. Terse or one of his colleagues from Physicians Clinic of Iowa to do those physicals. Change up, cut on and miss by Warner Madrigal, strike one. One out, top of the second, no score. Warner tries to go the other way and cues it foul into the screen in front of the Cougar first base dugout, strike two. Madrigal cut Kane County's lead to 2-1 yesterday with a 2-out double in the second inning. Then later that night, remember it started at 5 o'clock, Madrigal homered leading off the ninth inning. It was his 14th of the year. Peterson wastes a pitch upstairs, and it's 1-2, or 2-2 rather, to the Colonel right fielder Warner Madrigal. The lefty delivers. Curve, and that one's lined into left field, but right at Blasey. My goodness. Warner Madrigal hit a clothesline, scalding liner into left where Blasey caught it. The ball jumps off the bat here. We'll have in the neighborhood of 5,000 to 6,000 on this Labor Day jewel of an afternoon. There are no folks in the three picnic areas we've described. Those are from the right field foul pole stretching all the way to the right of the batter's eye in right center and down the left field line. All of those three picnic areas, each of them vacated. Hard to get folks to come out in big groups on Labor Day. It's a day for family. Strike one to Josh LeBlanc. Now a curve swatted into the screen foul. Strike two. Josh hitting .270 in 62 games. No homers, 27 driven in. He struck out as a pinch hitter in the ninth inning last night. Josh is 1 for 8 in this series. Strike three called on the outside corner in that lefty against lefty matchup. Second strikeout for Trent Peterson, who's made it look easy so far in the early going. The Colonels go quickly and in order in the top half of the second inning, and as we go to the bottom of the second, no score at Philip Elstrom Stadium between the Colonels and Kane County. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
The home of high school football, the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM, takes the show on the road this fall. Join us for the Zone High School Tailgate Tour, sponsored by the Dave Berry Real Estate Team at Coldwell Banker. The Zone Scott Unash is live from Washington High School this Friday at 3. It's a tailgate party with pep bands, cheerleaders, coaches interviews, and games, prizes, and stuff from Coca-Cola, iWireless, and lots more. Pick up your Penny Saver insert every Wednesday for the Zone High School Tailgate Tour, sponsored by the Dave Berry Real Estate Team at Coldwell Banker. It's your best source for Metro game info, including the Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM Friday night game of the week, a complete schedule of all the week's games, and valuable offers from our tailgate tour sponsors. So join us this Friday at 3 at Washington High School for the Zone Dave Berry Real Estate Team High School Tailgate Tour, only here on the home of high school football.
The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Hawkeye, Cyclone, and Panther fans, get your football gear at Collegiate Sports in Lindale and Coral Ridge Malls. Collegiate Sports has what you want at reasonable prices. Styles and sizes for men, women, and the largest youth and children's selection in the area, delivering on the promise of something for everyone. Play your school colors with pride by wearing Collegiate Sports apparel. You'll find Collegiate Sports stores in Lindale and Coral Ridge Malls. Collegiate Sports, where every day is game day.
with a crystal clear blue sky and just a smattering of a handful of thin white clouds above, the Kernels and Cougars meeting in the final game of the regular season here at Philip Elstrom Stadium. No score as switch-hitting third baseman Myron Leslie leads off for Kane County, batting left-handed against Jelena, and strike one is in from the Colonel right-hander. Congratulations to Bud Morton of North Liberty. Bud, you were our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question winner last night, as ball one is in the dirt to Myron Leslie. Myron wears his white home trousers with black pinstripes all the way down to his white shoes. Open stance, and ball two low from Jelena. Our question last night, what clip was flashed on the video board of Edison International Field to arouse Angel fans into a frenzy during the Angels' 2002 World Series championship season? Swinging a foul by Leslie over to the left, strike two. Again, we asked you what clip was flashed on the video board of Edison International Field to arouse Angel fans into a frenzy during the Angels' 2002 World Championship season. Bud Morton correctly emailed us the Rally Monkey. Swing and a miss. Myron Leslie was done in on a fastball that ran in on his hands. First strikeout of the day for Carl Jelena. And Bud Morton must be a big Angel fan. He not only emailed that it was the Rally Monkey that was flashed on that video board during 2002, but he claims that the most commonly used clip was from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. That's the... Now, I ran that by Kernan Ronan, and Kernan said, well, that was one of the clips, but they used monkeys from all sorts of movies. Strike one, Javier Herrera, and now a changeup, a swing and a miss. Herrera, right-handed batter with a .277 average, has belted 13 homers, driven in 62. One out, nobody on, and the Cougars second, no score. Ooh, that should have been good morning, good noon, good night. That pitch was strike three, but Joe Dobo ruled it low and away for a ball. Joe was even caught off guard on how good an 0-2 pitch that was. Now a swing and a tip foul. Did Dini hold it? Oh, no, they said it hit the dirt. So I think twice the Kernels have had Herrera struck out. Javier is a flamboyant, temperamental fella from Venezuela. And now Dobo's being asked by the Colonel dugout, and he's pointing to the dirt, saying it went in the dirt. Now he's asking Jeff Lascola. Now he's saying it's his call. And now he takes the mask off. Now he's trying to explain the foul tip, in his opinion, hit the ground. Dini is not arguing, so it must have hit the dirt. And I'll never call a guy out, except I've told you for one reason, if he's not hustling. And I have not been impressed with the hustle of this fella at the plate. Impressed with his ability? Oh, sure. But you watch him. If he hits a ground ball, he will not sprint to first base. And to me, Oakland has a different philosophy than the Angels. Oakland will put up with that kind of play, and that's their right. You do not have to play the game right. You can play it the way you want it if you're an Oakland Athletic. Herrera takes inside, and it's 1-2, and I'm not picking on Javier. There's other guys I've seen that don't run out ground balls, but I've noticed that in this series he will not sprint to first base on a ground ball. But maybe he's injured, and I don't know about it. He lifts one into shallow right, and coming on is LeBlanc, but instead it's Nate Sutton who makes the catch. Nate Sutton drifts out into right center and caught the ball, hit by Javier Herrera. And don't get me wrong, Herrera will probably be a five-tool superstar in the big leagues. And if he wants to play the game the way he plays it, that is his prerogative. Only reporting what I see. The batter, Tommy Everidge, .279 hitter, 14 homers, 66 RBIs. Tommy, a two-run blast in the second inning last night, or yesterday, made it 4-2 Kane County. His second home run of the series, and Jelena continues to heave in aspirin tablets, strike one to right-handed hitting Tommy Everidge, the DH. Beautiful yellow hammer, drops in for strike two. Yes, who can forget the Rally Monkey, the subject of our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question last night. And a pitch in on the batter's hands, and he sends it soaring into left. Tommy Everidge was jammed by Jonah, still was strong enough to hit it hard into left field, where Toussaint caught it. Drew didn't have to move a step. Now, here comes Kernan Ronan, the Colonel pitching coach. he is still talking to the plate umpire, Joe Dobo, I think, about that foul ball that he believed that Greg Deeney held on to that would have been a strikeout of Javier Herrera. And Kernan is not the kind of guy to argue or yelp about anything unless he is in the right, I'll tell you that. Down in order go the Cougars at the hands of Carl Jelena, and after 2 at Philip Elstrom. No score! Kernels and Cougars. This is Kernel Baseball in the zone.
Tri-State Travel. That's a name most of you recognize as a leader in motor coach transportation. Our deluxe red, black, and white coaches offer comfort and convenience for both student and adult group transportation. Did you know we have the highest safety rating in the industry? We have a trained staff of drivers and can provide a coach to meet the needs of your group from 29 to 54 passengers. No other company can promise you all this and back it up with 65 years of experience. Tri-State Travel. We're in phone book and on the web at Tri-State Travel.
The home of high school football, The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, takes the show on the road this fall. Join us for the Zone High School Tailgate Tour, sponsored by the Daysbury Real Estate Team at Coldwell Banker. The Zone Scott Unash is live from Washington High School this Friday at 3. It's a tailgate party with pep bands, cheerleaders, coaches interviews, and games, prizes, and stuff from Coca-Cola, iWireless, and lots more. Pick up your penny.
Rounds 1 on 3 hops to Myron Leslie, who scoops it and throws in time. Greg Deeney, not Chris Walston, leading off here in this top of the third inning, and Deeney, swinging on the first pitch, wraps out the third. Greg, in 8 games, a 160 hitter, no homers, no RBIs. Now Chris Walston will bat, and again, if you copied the lineup earlier this afternoon, Deeney was slated to hit 9th and Walston 8th, but they flip-flopped him. Bobby Magianis had a change of heart, as Trent Peterson fires a strike at the knees to Chris Walston, who did not play last night. Chris 0 for 7 in this series, batting 166, 11 homers, 26 driven in. Greg Deeney, by the way, the leadoff batter in this inning, grounding out the third. The last time Greg played was a week ago Sunday in Burlington. No score here in the top of the third, and Walston fouls one into the first base stands. There are 8 rows of red box seats here, and then 15 rows of aluminum back bleachers. And they have a man lift that they've hoisted some sort of promotional billboard up to the right of a matrix board in left center and to the left of the blue hitter's net above the 8-foot-high blue padded wall. Let's see what that says. Red Robin. Oh, it's some sort of nest for people to watch the game from. Oh, there's an ingenious promotion. I don't know how much a day it costs to rent one of those man lifts. I don't think they're cheap. But it does provide a source of attention, and that's what all advertisers like, is people talking about them. Walston fouls the 2-2 pitch off, and now Chris bounces one back at third. Backhanded by Leslie. Long throw in time. Oh, what a play by Myron Leslie. We told you how much he struggled in Cedar Rapids the first week of the season when we opened up against these Cougars. He looked very uncomfortable at third, but he took a hit away from Chris Walston. Wally just doesn't run that well, and he was thrown out from deep behind the bag on a backhanded stop.
The batter, shortstop number 8, Sean Rodriguez.
By Myron Leslie. Here's Sean Rodriguez, who flew out to left his first time up. Top of the third inning, no score here at Philip Elstrom Stadium, where a light breeze continues to blow out from the Cougar first base dugout towards left center. A strike on the outside corner from Trent Peterson. Well, you can say this about Peterson. He knows how to pitch. If you're in the stands, you want to grab a bat and say, hey, I can hit that guy. He can't break a pane of glass with his fastball. Well, that's why, one of the many reasons, he's a good pitcher. Swing and a miss by Sean as a changeup ran away from him. Rodriguez, now 6 for 13 in the series. Man, has this Kernel Ball Club played well the last 2.5 weeks. 10 and 5 in their last 15. A fastball is above the letters. Sean took it for ball 1. Kernels have 1 hit so far, an infield single by Nate Sutton, who was at third with only 1 out in the first inning, but Sandoval and Toussaint struck out, and now a towering pop-up to the right side of the infield. The catcher inside the dirt batting circle has it. Sean Rodriguez golfed one high in the air foul and only went 12 feet to the right of home plate, and David Castillo caught it inside the dirt batting circle to end the Colonel third inning. The Kernels have not hit the ball hard yet this afternoon, with the exception of Warner Madrigal's line drive out in the second off of lefty Trent Peterson. Carl Jelena back to the mound, and as we go to the bottom of the third inning, Kernels nothing, Kane County nothing. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Summer is a perfect time to enjoy fresh, colorful flowers and blooming plants. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center has the finest quality flowers and plants for both indoors and out. Plus, as always, all the expert advice you need to make your plants grow their best. Whether it's a single fresh flower or an entire wedding, a single household plant, or a yard of landscaping, Peck's does it all. Family-owned and serving Eastern Iowa since 1956. We've been proud supporters of Kernels Baseball for over 10 years. Peck's offers you the best plants and flowers available. Peck's is also your professional FTD and teleflorist florist with a certified garden, nursery, and landscaping center. Peck's is your year-round growing center and flower headquarters. Stop in for Peck's Fresh Flower feature, fresh-cut short-stem roses, just $9.95 a dozen, cash and carry. Peck's Flower Shop, Garden Center, Nursery, and Landscaping at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road Northeast.
When we met at Spaghetti, we would never forget Zio Giano's. Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. Zio Giano's is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember Zio Giano's with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
Season finale moving quickly as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Todd Brummelkamp is with us, and Todd is going to do his best, despite feeling under the weather, to call some of the action during the middle three. He'll have a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard during his middle 3 innings. We'll get those scores from Sean Patty, our in-studio engineer. He's already told us it's final now at Fenway. The White Sox 5, the Red Sox 3. That a final on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Strike one is in from Carl Jelena to David Castillo. There was some confusion. The official scorer, Bill Baker, the voice of the Northern Illinois Huskies, he was at the Big House on Saturday to call the Huskies' very valiant effort, but lost to Michigan. Bill came into the press box, said, "John, you got any insights as to why the batting order was switched with Deeney initially batting 9th and Walston 8th, and Deeney bats 8th and Walston 9th?" I said, "Bill, I'm sorry, I just don't know." The 0-2 pitch is skied foul off to the right by David Castillo. I don't know if Bobby Magianis had a clerical oversight or whether, I just don't know. But apparently it causes problems with BAM. Todd Brummelkamp can address that during his middle 3 innings. Here's a curve, and it's laced into right center. 4 extra bases. It came on an 0-2 pitch, and cutting it off in the deep right center field alley is LeBlanc. It's a double for David Castillo. Second hit of the afternoon for the Cougars, and they have a great chance to break out on top. David Castillo, a lowly 189 hitter in 31 games, laced one into the right center field gap between LeBlanc and Madrigal for a leadoff double here in the third inning in a scoreless game. Boy, as a kid, I used to remember virtually every big league team played a Labor Day doubleheader. Now, some teams have Labor Day off, and there's no such thing as a scheduled doubleheader since the owners and union decided to make it a game of greed at the big league level. Gregorio Petit has been a handful in this series. 6 hits, number 9 hitter, batting .289. He's trying to go the other way, at least he did on the first pitch as he fouled it into the first base seats. He's trying to advance Castillo from second to third. Nobody out here in the third inning. Instead, a high pop-up. It's coming towards the third base area. Freddy Sandoval comes in and gloves it right on the 15-year emblem that's painted into the grass beyond or to the left of the third base foul line. Freddy had to battle the wind and the high sky, and he caught that foul pop for the first out of the third inning. We're scoreless here in the bottom of the third. And perhaps Todd, with his vast knowledge of the entertainment world, will know where some of those clips came for the Rally Monkey in the 2002 Angel World Championship season. As I said, Bud Morton from North Liberty claims most of the clips showed a monkey bouncing up and down from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. But Kernan Ronan, the Colonel pitching coach, said that's not the only clip the Angels used. Andy Pantini and Al Schmidt of Metro Studios used the Rally Monkey at Veterans Memorial Stadium quite often the last couple of seasons. I think its luster is worn off just a bit. Cliff Pennington golfs a 0-1 pitch into the third base stand, and Carl's ahead of him 0-2. What a season Carl's had. A 10-game winner, the league hitting .302 against him. What's that tell you? It tells you he doesn't walk people. He's only walked 20 batters in 142 innings. That's remarkable. Swing and a miss on a changeup. The bottom fell out of it. Cliff Pennington fans, and there are two gone here in the Kane County third inning. And Carl Jelena, if he can get Nick Blasey, will have pitched around a leadoff double by David Castillo. Let's see if Carl can do exactly that. Here's Nick Blasey, who has reached base 5 times in a row for Kane County. Yes, the official scorer here, Bill Baker, has been doing Northern Illinois football and basketball for 26 years. So when he came in, I took notice. Swing and a miss on a Jelena breaking pitch. Low and away, strike one to Nick Blasey. Both of these pitchers are pitching. In other words, they are deceiving the hitters. Keeping the hitters off stride. Trent Peterson and Carl Jelena doing it top-notch so far here today, Labor Day. Carl comes set at the belt. The next delivery. Breaking pitch, and that one's tomahawked into the screen. 0-2. Some folks put the lawnmower away after Labor Day. A lot of people clean their garages, take the hammock down, move in the porch furniture. The real turning point, summer to fall. Fastball low and in to the right-handed batter. Blasey hitting .263, 4 homers, 52 RBIs. Luis Perez remains sidelined with a sore shoulder. He hurt it 2 nights ago trying to catch a Nate Sutton 9th-inning double. Nick Blasey from Wichita State. Boy, do they have some program. Nick pops it in the air to right center. LeBlanc is under it. Josh waits and has it to end the inning. Carl Jelena prevents the Cougars from taking the lead after a leadoff double from David Castillo. He got Gregorio Petit to foul the third baseman, struck out Cliff Pennington, and retires Nick Blasey on a fly into right center that LeBlanc caught. In the third, no runs for Kane County. They squander a leadoff double. They had 1 hit. There were no Colonel errors. Cougars leave a runner. Their second stranded of the day. Well, despite feeling under the weather, Todd Brummelkamp's going to do his best to bring you the middle 3 innings. We're glad Todd is here. He had his heart set on being here. And after 3, Kernels nothing, Cougars nothing. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees are proud to support one of our community's most renowned and cherished assets, the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees believe in the core values that comprise the essence of Kernel baseball: fun, wholesome, affordable entertainment for us all. As you look ahead to the many joys of summer, your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees encourage you to visit the fabulous new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees, embracing Kernel baseball, a community treasure.
there's a new home for Hawkeye football. Catch Iowa football with Kurt Kernels. Sunday nights at 10:35 on KCRG TV9. And again Mondays at 6:30 on KWKB, Eastern Iowa's WB. Want the latest highlights from your Iowa State Cyclones? Catch the Dan McCarney Show. Sundays at 11:05 on KCRG TV9. And Mondays at 6 on Eastern Iowa's WB, KWKB.
Nothing beats Sunday and Monday night NFL action. But if your butt can't be in the trusty Lazy Boy, you can still get your football fix on the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. Live, bone-crunching primetime football is as close as your radio. Throw into man-man caught. Pro football, right in your ear hole, only on the home of the NFL. The Zone! The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
And welcome back on a beautiful sunny Labor Day here in the western suburbs of Chicago. It's Cougars and the Kernels. Here's Philip B. Elstrom Stadium in the top of the fourth inning. Colonel Sports Information Director Todd Rallkamp bringing you the middle three innings. After all, it is Labor Day, and no one deserves a rest more than John Rogers. John is going to go find some young co-eds out in the stands and take a three-inning break as Nate Sutton lashes a 1-1 pitch out of left field for a base hit, and that'll get things started off for the Colonels just fine here in the top of the fourth inning. Nate Sutton, as John said, has come on strong down the stretch here, and he takes a 1-1 breaking ball from Peterson and dumps it into left field. As John mentioned, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today. Not just a little bit. If you've ever had one of those days where you feel like buying a bullet and renting a gun, that's what I feel like today. Freddy Sandoval will step in now with Nate Sutton over at first base. Nate was very aggressive on the bases when he reached on a ground ball single to first baseman Eddie Kim in the first. He reached third on Kim's throwing error and then stole second. Sutton was going on the pitch, and Sandoval fouls it off first base side. That'll be out of the stadium. I do not like Peterson's. He has a little bit of a hitch in his get-up on that throw over to first base. He's very, very hard to read. Of course, most left-handers are. But he seems to be, of all the left-handed pitchers I've seen in the league this year, the hardest to read. He'll come set, now a quick step towards home. That's going to be a 6-4-3 double play as Sandoval wraps the breaking ball over to shortstop. A 6-4-3 double play, and just like that, two down, and Drew Toussaint coming to bat. Well, the Kernels have been kept off all day long by Peterson. I don't think he has yet to probably hit 90 miles an hour on the radar gun. So that'll bring up Drew Toussaint, the Colonel's leader in home runs. As John mentioned, he is just 2 RBIs away from the 70 RBI plateau. He'll look at a big breaking ball for strike one on the outside corner of the plate. Drew had a little bit of a slump in August, dropped about 20 points off his batting average, but he's turned it on as of late. Now here's another breaking ball. That one appeared to be a slider on the inside corner of the plate, and Toussaint quickly in an 0-2 hole here on the top of the fourth. No score from Philip B. Elstrom Stadium as Drew does his best to stay alive, reaches out for a ball that was borderline and dumps it foul over the first base side. A very short net here protecting the folks in the stands behind home plate. John has his window wide open. I wouldn't be surprised to see a foul ball come back here. Got the right angle on it. Toussaint fouling another pitch off way deep down the right field line. Still 0-2 on the slugger out of Los Angeles. No scores in front of me from around the Midwest League today, but we do know that Beloit started an hour early at Pullman Field against Wisconsin. Pitch is low in the dirt for ball one to Toussaint. Now if Beloit wins and the Kernels win, that'll keep Kane County out of the playoffs, and you won't see too many dry eyes in the Kernels clubhouse after the game if that turns out to be the case. No love lost between these two teams. Drew Toussaint readies for the 1-2 pitch. I bet it's a breaking ball. It is. It's high for ball two. Peterson appeared with Stockton in the California League earlier this year, but was sent to Kane County to work on his mechanics after struggling in the California League. Most pitchers do struggle in that league. Toussaint wraps a ball that goes off the protective netting just to the right behind home plate. Again, what a beautiful day for baseball. Seems somewhat odd to be closing the regular season with a day game. I've used to growing up spending many late August, early September night under the lights. There's a line drive down the left field line, just foul. In between Colonel skipper Bobby Magianis and Myron Leslie. T.J. Stanton will go over and give a young fan in the stands a souvenir who appears to be a Kernels fan. We've got a couple of them that made the drive over here on Labor Day. Deuces wild across the board as Peterson comes set with the pitch. It's outside. Castillo can't even hang on to it, and that'll load the count for Toussaint. Jordan Wren's on deck. Jordan still looking to get to the 200 mark. He's 0 for 1 on the day. He popped out to left field leading off the second inning. We'll see if we can get him to the plate this inning. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Lined up the middle, and Pennington reaches up above his head, makes a snap, and then just very flippantly tosses the ball out of his glove back out of the pitcher's mound. A beautiful, beautiful play by Trent Peterson, the pitcher, flipping his glove up on a line drive just above his head, and that retires Toussaint for the third out of the inning. Well, the Kernels go in order. There was one hit, Nate Sutton's line drive single to left field, but Freddy Sandoval grounded into a double play. And through 3 1/3 here at Elstern Stadium in Geneva, Illinois. This game is scoreless. You're listening to Kernels Baseball in the Zone.
The home of high school football, The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, takes the show on the road this fall. Join us for the Zone High School Tailgate Tour, sponsored by the Dave Berry Real Estate Team at Coldwell Banker. The Zone Scott Unash is live from Washington High School this Friday at 3. It's a tailgate party with pep bands, cheerleaders, coaches' interviews, and games, prizes, and stuff from Coca-Cola, iWireless, and lots more. Pick up your Penny Saver insert every Wednesday for the Zone High School Tailgate Tour, sponsored by the Dave Berry Real Estate Team at Coldwell Banker. It's your best source for Metro game info, including the Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM Friday night game of the week, a complete schedule of all the week's games, and valuable offers from our tailgate tour sponsors. So join us this Friday at 3 at Washington High School for the Zone Dave Berry Real Estate Team High School Tailgate Tour, only here on the home of high school football.
The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
This is Terry Brush. Every person is special. Each life is unique. A funeral should be just that special and unique. At Brush Chapel, we have many options available that help each family plan a meaningful, personalized service. The staff at Brush Chapel has one goal, and that is to provide the best service possible for each family we serve. The remembering begins at Brush Chapel in Cedar Rapids, and the Brush Chapel and Community Center in Solon, serving families since 1885.
Travis Buck, the big slugger out of Arizona State, will step in here and then leading off the bottom of the fourth inning. Colonel Sports Information Director Tom Dahlkamp sitting in on the middle 3 innings of this final regular season game, the final game of the season for the Cedar Rapids Colonels here at Philip Elstrom Stadium in Geneva, Illinois. Colonel starting pitcher Carl Jona quickly working to a 1-1 count on Buck. It's scoreless through 3 1/2 innings here in Geneva. Colonel's looking to get back to the 500 mark. And that pitch misses down and in. Ball 2. And a long, wild ride this season for the Colonels. 34-35, and looking to finish up on a high note here as Jonah delivers the pitch home. Big swing and a miss by Buck, even the count at 2. John Rogers will be back with you in the top of the 7th inning. For now, you get to listen to me. And I know what a treat that is for some of you. 2-2 is the count. John will come set and deliver the pitch home. Swing and a miss, and Buck retired on strike. So Carl Jonah continues to be very effective for the Colonels today. Both he and Trent Peterson have allowed just 2 hits so far. One of those hits for the Cougars was a bunt single by Nicholas Blasi in the bottom of the first. and then David Castillo's fly ball double in the third inning. Eddie Kim, the big slugging first baseman, will step to the plate. Jelena pours a breaking ball over the outside corner of the plate for strike one. Well, I would have liked nothing better than to have this team have made the playoffs, but unfortunately that's not the way things work out. When you're in the Western Division, where there are, oddly enough, more teams than there are in the Eastern Division, well, it's a little harder to make the playoffs. Kane County should know a thing or two about that, as Eddie Kim fouls the ball over the third base section of the stands, facing an 0-2 count. Jelena delivers a fastball high and out of the zone for ball one. 8 teams in the Western Division, 6 in the East, yet the same number of teams from both divisions make the playoffs. That's 4. You tell me how that's fair. There's another ball up in the zone to Kim as the count evens at 2-2. As John mentioned, the Kernels hung in right down to the day before the final game of the season. Before bowing, as Kim lost a high fly ball into the gap, LeBlanc will come over from center field, sunglasses on, has no trouble finding that one for the second out of the inning. And just as in the top of the fourth, things appear to be moving very quickly here in Geneva. What a crowd on hand today for Fan Appreciation Day here for the Cougars. Upwards of anywhere between 6,000 and 8,000 most likely. At least that's what they'll announce. Here's the first pitch from Jelena to Myron Leslie. It's a breaking ball on the outside corner of the plate for strike one. Carl showing flashes of his performance a couple weeks ago in Clinton. Extremely effective. There's ball one down in the dirt. As John mentioned, 10 victories for the Canadian right-hander. And you're not going to meet a nicer guy. As there's a breaking ball over the middle of the plate for strike two. That makes the count 1-2. You will probably meet some nicer guys, but most of them are on the team with Jelena. Freddy Sandoval, always a fan favorite. Leslie fouls one back. Michael Collins has his following. T.J. Stanton, one of the Kernels relievers, not very solid numbers this year, but developed a huge fan following in Cedar Rapids. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Jelena, and that's going to be lofted out high into the air above second base. Nate Sentinel slipped the glove up there and make the catch, and the Cougars go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the fourth inning. No runs, no hits, and no Kernel errors through 4 in Geneva, Illinois. The Cougars and the Kernels are scoreless. You're listening to Kernels Baseball in the Zone.
Your home is a powerful asset. Managed wisely, it can help you with home improvements, tuition, and other expenses. Wells Fargo Home Equity Financing is the key. With flexible terms, competitive rates, and affordable payments, our bankers have the knowledge and resources to help you find the best financing for your needs. Talk with a Wells Fargo banker today and see how home equity financing can help you reach your next stage. Wells Fargo, the next stage. Equal housing lender.
Knowing who you are is important. At Kirkwood Community College, we know who we are. We are accessibility. We are quality. We are opportunity. We are community. Who are you? We can help you learn. Kirkwood.edu.
There's a new home for Hawkeye football. Catch Iowa football with Kernels. Sunday nights at 10:35 on KCRG TV9. And again Mondays at 6:30 on KWKB, Eastern Iowa's WB. Want the latest highlights from your Iowa State Cyclones? Catch the Dan McCarney Show. Sundays at 11:05 on KCRG TV9. And Mondays at 6 on Eastern Iowa's WB, KWKB.
Scoreless ball game between the Kernels and the host, Kane County Cougars, here in Geneva, Illinois, through 4 innings. We'll head to the top of the 5th inning, and Jordan Renz will look to break things open for the visiting Kernels as they look to squash the playoff hopes of the Kane County Cougars, just as Kane County helped to erase any hopes of the playoffs of the Kernels last night with an 8-5 victory. We've discussed Jordan Renz and his quest for the 200 mark. He popped out to left field in the second inning, so he'll need to make up a little ground in his first plate appearance in this inning. We hope it's the first of many. That would mean the Kernels hit around. Ball one outside from Peterson. Jordan being very patient, looking for that pitch to hit. Curveball over the outside portion of the plate is called strike one by Joe Doba. There's a high fly ball. It could be. There's no doubt about it. That ball is off the picnic deck. Home run for Jordan Renz, and he got that hit in a big way. Jordan Renz getting a hold of a 1-1 pitch from Trent Peterson and depositing it 345 feet down the left field line to give the Kernels a 1-0 lead. Wow, did Jordan catch all of that ball? Well, we talked about how Peterson couldn't break a pane of glass with his fastball. That was another breaking ball. I said Jordan was being very patient, and he was timing Peterson. It only took him 3 pitches into his second at-bat to have the big left-hander figured out. Kernels lead this one 1-0 by virtue of a Jordan Renz home run. Jordan hitting left-handers better. That's number 9 for Jordan. He'll get to double digits by the end of the day. Don't worry about it. Now we'll see if Warner Madrigal can do the same thing. What a high shot. That thing looked like a Tiger Woods drive. As Madrigal starts the count off with a ball outside. And then if you didn't hear the fake shattering of glass, you'd figure out that it was a foul ball out of the stadium to even the count. We'll see how this affects Peterson. There's the 1-1 pitch. Madrigal fouls it out first base side once again. And it looks like he's doing the same thing that Renz was. Of course, he's being a little more aggressive. Jordan kept the bat on his shoulder the first 2 pitches of his at-bat. Warner, always a free swinger, but he's doing the exact same thing that Renz is. And Warner cuts on a changeup outside of the strike zone for strike 3. So he will not do what Renz did. He'll head back to the dugout. And Peterson has been mowing through the Kernels so far today. He has 2 strikeouts. 4. Well, how about that? I never was a math major. Josh LeBlanc will step in for the Kernels. Swinging at the first pitch, following one high, just over our heads here in the press box at Philip B. Elstrom Stadium, the only stadium in this league where you can genuinely call it a dump, because it's built on the site of a former landfill. Here's the 0-1 pitch, a big slider outside of the strike zone, will even the count. Boy, I remember back in 1991 when this stadium opened. This team, formerly the Wausau Timbers. And my, how things have changed in this league. There's another breaking ball. That looked to be a curve. Missing low and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to the left-handed hitting LeBlanc. Ball 3. Well, once Wausau moved to Kane County, the eastward shift of this league continued. The Madison franchise moved east to Grand Rapids. The Springfield franchise moved to Lansing, Michigan. There's a ground ball down the first base line. Eddie Kim can't field it. Josh LeBlanc going to take a hard turn at first base. He's going to chug into second base, standing up with a double. And just like that, the Kernels are threatening to add to their lead. A ground ball single down the sharply wrapped ground ball single down the first base line by Josh LeBlanc. He'll stand at second with 1 out as Greg Deeney steps to the plate. How about that for Josh? Put that one right down the right field line. I may have said left. There's the first pitch to Deeney. It's low in the dirt. LeBlanc will take off for third. The throw is going to be late, and Josh LeBlanc will take third base on the Wild pitch. Well, that'll be a stolen base. Pass ball. Well, we got it on the third try. Well, Josh LeBlanc now standing at third base for Greg Deeney. Has not seen much to write home about with the Kernels. There he drives one high into right field. It's going to be shallow coming on in right field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Travis Buck could not get to the ball. LeBlanc will scamper home, and Greg Deeney is on with a bloop single high into the air down the right field line that Buck just could not get to. It looked like perhaps it would drift foul. I'm not sure if Buck saw that ball all that well, but Greg Deeney lost a pitching wedge-like shot. That's his first RBI as a member of the Kernels. And that will bring Garvin Alston, the Kane County pitching coach, out to the mound to have a talk with his left-handed starter, Trent Peterson. And Garvin will finally pick up the pace and make it out to the mound. He sort of reminds me of former hot stove speaker Lee Smith. He takes a long time to get out to the mound. We'll pop another throat lozenge here in between innings and see if we can make it through the sixth. As John mentioned, I'm feeling a little under the weather, but there was no way I was going to miss the finale, regular season finale for the Kernels. When I received word last night that the team would not make the playoffs, I think that may have been one of the things that triggered this illness. Needless to say, I feel about as good as Trent Peterson does right now. He's in a 2-0 hole after the home run by Renz and the little RBI single down the right field line by Deeney. He'll have to face Chris Walston now. But before he does that, he throws over to check on Deeney at first base. Well, just as the Cougars got all the breaks yesterday, the Kernels appear to be getting the breaks today. That high fly ball probably should have been an out. Peterson will check on Deeney one more time over at first base. Well, credit Josh LeBlanc with the one-out double down the right field line. He moved to third on a wild pitch, pass ball, as he pitches on the outside push to the plate, outside for ball one. LeBlanc moved to third on that pass ball, and then Deeney just dumped one down the right field line. Buck couldn't get to it, and the Kernels lead 2-0. We're out hitting the hosts 5-2. And Chris Walston will look to make it 6. He waves at a fastball outside portion of the plate. Strike one. Absolutely beautiful. This feels like it should be opening day, not the final day of the regular season. We'll have the State Farm Major League scoreboard coming up for you in the sixth inning. Peterson will throw back over to first for the third time, checking on Deeney. Still no change in the status of the Kernels catcher. He's not going anywhere. It feels like I have a golf ball in my throat right now, and I just might. There's a high fly ball by Chris Walston out to left field. So much time. Nick Blasi settles underneath it. And that's the second out of the inning. A high fly ball. The highest one we've seen hit today. And Walston flies out to left field for the second out of the inning. Well, we're back to the top of the order, and Sean Rodriguez, the Kernels shortstop, as John mentioned, coming on strong down the stretch, 6 of 13 in this series. He will ready himself for the first pitch. Deeney still only about 3 steps off the bag at first base. Peterson going to go over there again. Well, we've seen this cat-and-mouse game pay off for the Kernels at several points in time this season, but usually when there's a runner on second or third base, not when we have a slow-of-foot catcher at first only. There's the first pitch, hammered down the left field line by Sean Rodriguez, and that pitch will fall just foul. Over down by the Kernel bullpen. It looked like Michelle Simard could have made a play on that sinking line drive, but it fell just about 2 feet on the wrong side of the left field foul line. 335 feet down the left field line, also same distance down the right field line. Blue hitter's eye out in center field here at Elstrom Stadium. Plenty of signs as well. Rodriguez, 0-1 pitch on its way from Peterson. Curveball. And the Cougars dugout made chirp at home plate umpire Joe Dobo on that one. That one appeared to be a strike. We'll take it for ball one. That was right over the middle of the plate. It must have broken late. Nate Sutton on deck. Kernels lead this ball game 2-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. And once again, we'll go over to first base to check on Greg Deeney. And perhaps Greg could just call time and walk out to the mound and tell Trent Peterson he's not going anywhere. But you never know. He looks like he might go over there again. Instead, he goes to the plate. Rodriguez pool cues one down into the Cougar dugout. Everyone appears to be fine. That ball actually shot just north of the Cougars dugout into a little camera well that they have here at Elstrom Stadium. No one appears to be hurt. Rodriguez, a 1-2 count. Greg Deeney at first base. Kernels lead this one 2-0. Lanky left-hander comes set. There's strike 3 called, a fastball over the inside corner of the plate. And they'll retire Rodriguez, but the Kernels do some damage. Jordan Renz, a leadoff solo home run to left field, and then a fly ball single down the right field line. 3 batters later by catcher Greg Deeney give the Kernels a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning from Geneva, Illinois. You're listening to Kernels Baseball in the Zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was a news anchor for Channel 2. You may also have seen me driving around Cedar Rapids in my Honda Accord. Well, I retired from broadcasting, but I haven't given up my Honda. For years, I've told friends they should consider owning a Honda, specifically from Randy Keel Honda. Randy is a local dealer with 13 years of experience in matching drivers to the right vehicle. He has a fine selection of new Hondas, as well as quality pre-owned vehicles. And more than just a reliable service department, Randy Keel Honda offers Honfidence, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle sold. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. And you can do more homework by logging on to Randy's website at www.randykeel.com. I'm a satisfied Honda owner, and I'm sure you will be too. See Randy Keel Honda today on Centerpoint Road Northeast.
Who's that cool cooking man? King of the grill, who's your patio daddy-o?
Your patio daddy-o.
Charbroiled sausage flipping man with the buns, who's your patio daddy-o?
Your patio daddy-o. He only cooks when it's good to know.
Econo Foods is the place to save on Clements Fine products this week. Shop Econo Foods for hot pricing on Clements.
Welcome back to the western suburbs of Chicago, in Geneva, Illinois to be exact. Kane County, the host for the Kernels' final regular season game of the year. And the Kernels have a 2-0 lead, thanks to a 2-run top of the 5th inning over their hosts. We'll see if Carl Jona can make it hold up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. He faces one of our favorites, Javier Herrera. Herrera looks at a ball low and out of the zone. This guy has all the talent in the world but a 5-cent head. To paraphrase Bull Durham, he shoots one foul over the first base section of the stands to even the count. First of all, he wears one of those giant elbow pads, which I think should be illegal. Secondly, he then utilizes that to stand right on top of the plate. He grounds one to the left of Freddy Sandoval. Beautiful play by Freddy Sandoval, and the tag by Chris Walston, and Herrera is retired. Freddy Sandoval had to range to his left. It took 2 very quick hops on the third baseman. He gloves it throws across the diamond. Chris Walston abandons the base, grabs the ball, and slaps Herrera on the shoulder before he could get to first base. A beautiful, beautiful play by third baseman Freddy Sandoval. And you think about one of the things that will get you through to next April and the doldrums of the winter months as you close your eyes late at night and prepare to fall asleep. The defense of Freddy Sandoval at third base will be one of the things preying upon my mind. Sorry to get off on a poetic rant there. Herrera is out 5-3, and Tommy Everidge, the Cougars' offensive player of the month for August. He had 5 home runs in August, steps in to an 0-1 count. Quickly 0-2. Carl Jelena is just absolutely dealing here for the Kernels. What a day. Strike 3 called on 3 pitches. Oh, Everidge, I don't think even moved the bat off his shoulder. Carl Jelena, he's shown a propensity on those 0-2 counts to work very close to the plate with his third pitch. He did just that, and Joe Dobos says, go ahead and take a seat, big fella. If you're not going to take the bat off your shoulder, you might as well go grab a rest. And that'll bring up David Castillo, the Kernels catcher. David was a 2004 All-Star in the Midwest League, playing in the All-Star game at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids. He's had some off-field problems in his baseball career, but he brought them on himself. So we have absolutely no sympathy for the Kernels catcher, the Cougars catcher, that is. He looks at ball 1 outside from Jelena, who quickly comes to the plate with pitch number 2. It's dumped in front of Drew Toussaint out in left field for a base hit. That'll be the Cougars' 3rd hit of the game off Jelena. It's just a lowly soft line drive single out in the left field. So Castillo, on his 2nd tour of duty through this league, reaches base with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And that brings up Gregorio Petit. Petit, however you want to pronounce it. Hits a high fly ball to Toussaint in left field on the very first pitch, and Toussaint will take 1 step back, 1 step forward, and the Kernels are out of this inning. 1 base hit yields no Cougar runs. As we are through 5 innings at Philip B. Elstrom Stadium in Geneva, Illinois, it's the Kernels 2 and the Cougars nothing. You're listening to Kernels Baseball in the Zone.
I'll live for you, I'll feed your cats, I'll fold your undies at the laundromat, unless you want me to have them dry clean. I get paid for that, I'll work things out, spin against that, I'll shave my soul patch before I meet your dad, I'll wear a turtleneck to strategically hide my tattoos if I can. I'm getting the best, I'm winning your head, I'm giving you all my time, but this Dr. Pepper is mine. I'm a rich taste for tennis. This Dr. Pepper is mine. 1 taste and you get it. That's all, baby. I'll shop with you, always be true, and never share my Dr. Pepper with you. Sorry. This Dr. Pepper is mine. I'm a 1 taste and you get it. So rich. This Dr. Pepper is mine. I'm a refreshing cake. Drink it by the case. This Dr. Pepper is mine. I'm isn't even a word.
It's the big Thursday night Metro football battle right here in the Zone. Hi, this is Scott Unash. Join John Haggerty, Brian Wilson, and me Thursday night at 7:15 with a pregame from Kingston Stadium, where the Prairie Hawks meet the Kennedy Cougars. Both of these teams had opening night wins. Kennedy in overtime at Xavier, while Prairie looked very impressive in their win at home versus Washington. High school football brought to you in part by Sport Clips, King's Materials, and Farm Bureau Financial Services. That's Prairie at Kennedy, Thursday night, 7:15 pregame right here in the Zone.
Colonel Sports Information Director Todd Brokamp.
Colonel Sports Information Director Todd Brokamp sitting alongside the voice of the Colonel, John Rogers, at Philip B. Elstrom Stadium in Geneva, Illinois, where the Kernels lead in their final game of the season 2-0 against the Cougars. We head to the top of the 6th inning, where Nate Sutton, the Kernels' number 2 batter, will lead things off. Nate is 2 for 2 today. He had a soft line drive single left in the 4th inning, and also had a ground ball single on the infield to first baseman Eddie Kim with 1 out in the top of the 1st inning. So Nate doing his best to come on strong down the stretch. He will very likely be at Rancho Cucamonga next year with a number of our other current Kernels. And he's going to be 3 for 3 as he lashes out and dumps a right base hit into right field. Perhaps I should take some more cold medicine. I feel like Nick Nolte at the moment. Base hit into right field for Sutton, and he is 3 for 3 today. Just a soft little line drive was all it took, and Nate Sutton stands on first base with Freddy Sandoval coming to the plate. We talked about Freddy's defense, but for the longest time this year, Freddy just continued to lead the team in RBIs. There's a throw over to first base to try to nab Sutton. He dives back in safely. Freddy just a solid RBI guy for the Kernels. As there's activity down in the Cougar bullpen for the first time today. It appears to be J.R. Pickens, the big right-hander. Here's another throw over to first base. Sutton diving back in. No activity in the Colonel bullpen. And I don't think we'll need to see any of the way Jelena has flown through the Cougar lineup today. He can't be anywhere near a pitch count. Here's the first pitch finally on its way to Sandoval. It's a ball outside. Super Red! I believe they sell licorice here at the stadium. Being facetious. 1-0 pitch poured across the plate for strike 1. So Freddie's looked at 2 pitches from the lanky left-hander. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nate Sutton continues to hold steadfast over at first base. He appeared to be picked off dead to rights in the 1st inning, but made it to second base on a throwing error by Kim. Now they'll go over to him again. He dives back in, no play. Sutton then stole third base, but Sandoval struck out looking, and Toussaint struck out swinging in the top of the 1st inning as the Kernels couldn't put a run on the board. That was no problem in the 5th inning, though. We lead this ball game 2-0. Here's the 1-1 for Peterson to Sandoval. High fastball. Freddie checks his swing. They'll peel out to Jeff Lascola, who says Sandoval did not go around. Drew Toussaint on deck for the Kernels. Boy, I feel like the season could just never end at this point. But we have come to the end of the line as there's a pitch in the dirt. Ball 3, that is, on Sandoval. We'll face a long, quiet winter, anxiously awaiting the announcement of who our field staff will be next year. Perhaps it'll be Bobby Magianis for a 3rd year in a row. Perhaps it'll be someone new. We know we'll get a new hitting coach as there's another throw over to first base to check on Sutton. We wish Justin Bachman and his wife Serena and their little girl Adele all the best as they embark on their coaching career at Lewis and Clark College in Portland, Oregon. Sandoval flicks his bat out and fouls one to the screen right here in front of the press box. That'll fill up the count at 3-2 with no outs. Top of the 6th inning, Kernels lead it 2-0. Then it'll be time for the hot stove banquet in February. Before you know it, the players will report to spring training in March. We'll start to get information from Director of Player Development Tony Regans on who's on the Kernels work roster, and then it'll be early April. There's the pitch. Sandoval strikes out swinging. Sutton is going. The throw by Castillo is out into left field. Now Sandoval is going to be called out for batter's interference. They're signaling Nate Sutton is out. Sandoval struck out swinging. Nate Sutton taking off for second base. Sandoval's wild swing affected the throw of David Castillo down to second base, so both Sandoval and Sutton will be declared out, and the bases will be empty with 2 outs for Drew Toussaint. That's one of those things earlier in the season where you would say, when it rains, it pours. Not so much today, as Drew Toussaint has a high pop fly on the first pitch he sees from Peterson, and Gregorio Petit will settle underneath it and make the catch. So after Nate Sutton's line drive single to right field to lead off the inning, the Kernels make no noise in the top of the sixth, and through 5.5 at Philip B. Elstrom Stadium in Geneva, Illinois. It's Kernels 2, Cougars nothing. You're listening to Kernels Baseball in the Zone.
The home of high school football, The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, takes the show on the road this fall. Join us for the Zone High School Tailgate Tour, sponsored by the Dave Berry Real Estate Team at Coldwell Banker. The Zone Scott Unash is live from Washington High School this Friday at 3. It's a tailgate party with pep bands, cheerleaders, coaches' interviews, and games, prizes, and stuff from Coca-Cola, iWireless, and lots more. Pick up your Penny Saver insert every Wednesday for the Zone High School Tailgate Tour, sponsored by the Dave Berry Real Estate Team at Coldwell Banker. It's your best source for Metro game info, including the Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM Friday night game of the week, a complete schedule of all the week's games, and valuable offers from our tailgate tour sponsors. So join us this Friday at 3 at Washington High School for the Zone Dave Berry Real Estate Team High School Tailgate Tour, only here on the home of high school football.
The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Hawkeye, Cyclone, and Panther fans, get your football gear at Collegiate Sports in Lindale and Coral Ridge Malls. Collegiate Sports has what you want at reasonable prices. Styles and sizes for men, women, and the largest youth and children's selection in the area, delivering on the promise of something for everyone. Display your school colors with pride by wearing Collegiate Sports apparel. You'll find Collegiate Sports stores in Lindale and Coral Ridge Malls. Collegiate Sports, where every day is game day.
Welcome back to Geneva, Illinois, at Philip B. Elstrom Stadium as we head to the bottom of the sixth inning for the final home game, the final game of the season, regular season game that is, for the Cedar Rapids Kernels. As you can tell, I brought my C game to the ballpark today. It's Kernel Sports Information Director Todd Bumblecamp, sitting alongside the real voice of the Kernels, John Rogers. He'll be back at the top of the seventh inning. Here is the Kernels lead the Cougars 2-0. Cliff Pennington, the leadoff batter for Kane County, looks at a strike over the inside part of the plate before Jean comes set and deals the ball outside to even the count. We'll have the State Farm Major League scoreboard for you this half inning as Pennington hits a fly ball foul out of the stands just above the press box here to our left. State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Lanny Peterson proud to bring you the State Farm Major League scoreboard as Pennington cuts and misses. That'll move the count to 1-2. A final from Fenway Park. The Chicago White Sox have defeated the Red Sox 5-3. Cleveland up on Detroit at Comerica 2-0 in the top of the fifth. Swing and a miss by Pennington retires the Cougar leadoff man for the fifth strikeout of the day for Carl Jelena. Now we continue to move quickly here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Toronto up on Baltimore 4-1 in the bottom of the eighth inning. That game at Camden Yards. No score. Texas and Minnesota at the top of the first inning. Over in the NL, a dandy at Busch Stadium here on Labor Day. A 2-2 ball game between the Cubs and the Cards. Top of the seventh inning. Mark Pryor on the mound for the Cubs in that one. Atlanta defeated the Mets 4-2 today as there's a high pop fly in the left center field. Nicholas Blasi flies out to center for the second out of the inning. Florida trailing the Washington Nationals 5-2 at RFK Stadium today. Houston plays Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, and San Francisco will be at Los Angeles later tonight. One score to pass along from the Midwest League in the top of the fifth inning. Beloit leads Wisconsin 1-0 at Pullman Field on the state line region between Illinois and Wisconsin. And that's bad news for the Cougars because if the Kernels can defeat them here and the Snappers can hang on and win against the Timber Rattlers, that means the Cougars are kept out of the playoffs. First pitch is a ball outside to Travis Buck. Now he looks at a fastball on the outside portion of the plate. Very close call. It goes against Carl Jelena and the Kernels. We won't say Buck misplayed that ball in right field on Deeney's pop fly, but it helped lead to the second Colonel's run of the 5th inning. Gianna pours a breaking ball over the outside corner of the plate for strike one. We'll have another look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard coming up after the completion of today's game. There's a high fly ball into left center field. Drew Toussaint, the Colonel left fielder, is going to shade over and make the catch in front of Josh LeBlanc. And the Cougars go very quietly here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Carl Jelena has limited them to just 3 hits through 6 innings. We'll head to the top of the 7th inning where the real voice of the Colonels, John Rogers, will rejoin you. He's taken 3 innings off here on Labor Day, and deservedly so. It's 2-0 Colonels through 6. You're listening to Colonels Baseball in the Zone.
At Zimmerman's, we believe that the voice of the customer speaks the loudest. Let's hear what our customers have to say.
We chose Zimmerman because our family has been buying cars. I guess we're probably the 3rd generation to buy cars here at Zimmerman's.
My family's bought 18 cars at Zimmerman's. 18. I ought to get a little bonus or something, wasn't it?
We build our reputation on one satisfied customer at a time. On behalf of everyone at Zimmerman's, I want to thank you for your business.
There's a new home for Hawkeye football. Catch Iowa football with Kernels. Sunday nights at 10:35 on KCRG TV9. And again Mondays at 6:30 on KWKB, Eastern Iowa's WB. Want the latest highlights from your Iowa State Cyclones? Catch the Dan McCarney Show. Sundays at 11:05 on KCRG TV9. And Mondays at 6 on Eastern Iowa's WB, KWKB.
Who has more high school football action? The Zone! Friday night coverage of Premier Metro matchups kicks off with the Radio Iowa Scouting Report at 7:05. Then it's the state's #1 play-by-play guy, voice of high school football, Scott Unash, and the night's main event. It all wraps up with Football Friday Night Show, sponsored by Sport Clips, with scores, highlights, and more from across the state. And when our station comes close. For complete gridiron coverage that outscores the rest, rock it on the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, the home of high school football.
Welcome back to Philip Elstrom Stadium on Labor Day as Todd Grummelkamp and I team up to bring you the final regular season contest of the season of the year. And Jordan Renz will be first up against the new hurler for Kane County, J.R. Pickens. J.R. is a 25-year-old from Liberty, Texas. He went to the University of Mississippi. J.R. Pickens pitched in 54 games in relief for Kane County last year. Posted a 6-2 mark with a 3.44 ERA. J.R. Pickens, a right-hander. On the hill for Kane County, first up for the Colonels, Jordan Renz, and a slider is into Jordan. Renz broke a scoreless tie with his 9th home run of the year. Down the left field line onto a vacated wood picnic patio. And now a curve from Pickens low and away. J.R. Pickens last season, as I said, worked in 54 games for the Cougars. Won 6, lost 2, and saved 5. The 1-1 to Renz, a right-handed hitter, and ball 2 outside. Jordan's home run in the 5th inning, his 9th of the year, and his 55th run driven in. And that's darn good production for a kid who was languishing down near 165 a few weeks ago. Here's a high fly ball into right, and moseying over to his right to put it away for the first out of the 7th is Travis Buck. Renz flies to right, 1 gone here in the 7th. 2-0 Colonels. Colonels have out-hit the Cougars 6-3. The final line on the departed starter for Kane County, Trent Peterson. He went 6 innings, gave the Colonels 2 runs on 6 hits, struck out 6, walked none. Right-handed hitting Warner Madrigal at plate, and a fastball powdered by Warner. Strike 1 swinging. J.R. Pickens in his 2nd season with the Cougars, on for the 33rd time. He's won 5, lost 2, a 4.91 ERA. Our great friends are here from the Mediacom Colonel Little Sluggers. They stopped by to say hello. The right-hander Pickens misses with a curve low and away. J.R. Pickens, 5-2, 4.91 ERA, 2 saves. In 55 innings, he's surrendered 57 hits. Struck out 36 in 55 innings, 26. League hitting 269 against J.R. Pickens. And Madrigal looks at the next one low for ball 2. Thanks to Todd Brummelkamp for coming all the way over this morning. Here's a drive hit into deep right center. On the run, Travis Buck. He won't get it, and it is over the wall. It's a home run for for Warner Madrigal. Warner Madrigal joins Jordan Renz in the home run circle with his 15th of the year. And it's 3-0 Kernels here in the 7th inning. Warner Madrigal with his 15th. He hit one in the 9th inning last night. Madrigal makes it 3-0 Kernels with his 15th home run of the season. And Todd was saying, John, I wasn't quite myself during my middle 3 innings. Well, Todd, I just accidentally called that home run initially by Renz, but I said Madrigal joins the home run circle. That includes he and Jordan Renz. Madrigal with surprising power as he belted it over the 8-foot-high wall in right center field to make it 3-0 Kernels. Now, Josh LeBlanc fouls one away to the left, strike one. 3-0 Kernels here in the top of the 7th inning. Let me tell you, the Kernels were a determined lot when they boarded their Tri-State Travel Motor Coach around noon, actually around 11:30 this morning. They want to come in here, play well this afternoon, and reach the 500 mark, and as Todd said, hopefully play an instrumental role in determining who and who does not make the Midwest League playoffs. Ground ball up the middle, smashed by LeBlanc, and that's the second hit in a row off the right-hander, J.R. Pickens. And it's the 8th Kernel hit of this Labor Day afternoon. LeBlanc doubled and scored in the 5th inning, and he singles through the middle on the ground here in the 7th inning. 3-0 Kernel. We will not have a Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge for you this afternoon. That's because, unfortunately, as Todd mentioned, sadly enough, this is our last broadcast of the 2005 campaign. But we sure had fun. A double play ball to third. Myron Leslie throws to pay T1. Gregorio to first. Greg Deeney has bounced into an inning-ending 5-4-3 twin killing after dumping an RBI single into right last time up. Greg Deeney swinging on the first pitch. Grounds into an around-the-horn double play. In the 7th, Madrigal's 15th home run of the year. 1 run, 2 hits for the Kernels. No Kane County errors. They turn their second double play of the day, and the Kernels leave the bases empty. Carl Jelena back to the hill. He's been brilliant. After 6.5 in suburban Chicago, it's the Kernels 3, the Cougars nothing. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
1 hour photo, speed dating, DSL for your computer. Everyone's in a hurry these days. Your professional Pekin insurance agent, Scott Draper of She's Forest Draper and Marion, doesn't hurry when it comes to helping you with your insurance needs. Scott will gladly sit down with you and outline a solid insurance program just right for you and your budget. Auto, home, business, life, and health. Scott Draper, your hometown Pekin insurance professional in Marion, will give you the responsive, personal, unhurried service you deserve.
RID presents A Mother's Guide to the 5 stages of head lice infestation. First, there's shock. Followed by denial.
No, this isn't happening.
Anger.
Darn sleepovers?
Bargaining.
Please, not head lice.
And finally, acceptance.
My kid got lice? I'll get rid.
RID is America's #1 lice-killing brand. Recommended by pharmacists and school nurses, RID is so effective, it can completely eliminate lice from your family and your home. Got lice? Get RID. Use as directed.
Mike and Mike in the Morning's Just Shut Up Award is about more than merely pointing out stupidity.
It's about the Bill of Rights and basic cable, waiting and free trips to the salad bar. It's about everything that makes this country great.
Yes, it's about freedom. Freedom for people to say something completely moronic.
Shut up!
And it's also about the freedom for you to tell that person to
just shut up.
So exercise that freedom. Tuesday mornings, Mike and Mike in the Morning on ESPN Radio.
Carl Jelena to set sail in the bottom of the 7th on this beautiful, sparkling Monday afternoon, Labor Day. Carl has scattered 3 hits. He gave up a 1-out infield single in the first inning. Actually, that was a bunt single. Then a leadoff double in the 3rd inning by David Castillo, pitched around it. Then a 2-out single by the number 8 hitter, Castillo, in the 5th inning, and he deals home a strike in to Eddie Kim, who was grounded to second and flown out to center, left-handed slugger, who belted a 2-run homer in the 1st inning yesterday. Here's a long shot into left center. LeBlanc on the run. Josh Way on the run and has it. Josh LeBlanc just ate the ground up in left center field. Flaps that speed that is one of his great weapons. And Eddie Kim has an extra base hit taken away from him on a dazzling catch in deep left center on the run by Josh LeBlanc. That ball hit by the left-handed batter Kim was tailing away from LeBlanc, but he got on his horse and raced to his right and made a tough play look rather easy. Man, Josh LeBlanc has enjoyed playing center field. Here's Myron Leslie. Ball one just outside from Jelena. Carl has pitched a gem through 6 1/3. He and his mates lead it 3-0. Now a little number foul to the on-deck circle where Javier Herrera pokes at it. Let's take you on another trip down the road of the State Farm Major League scoreboard because things have changed since Todd last visited a couple of innings ago. Swing and a miss by Leslie, strike 2. That pitch was shoulder high and Myron chased it. State Farm Insurance agents Lanny Peterson, Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, and Dale Thompson bring us the second look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. A breaking pitch low and in, 2-2 to Leslie. A final from Beantown, White Sox 5, Red Sox 3. Detroit played at Comerica Park this afternoon, and the Tribe blanked the Tigers 2-0. They're in the bottom of the ninth at Camden Yards. It's the Blue Jays 6, the Orioles 2 in the Battle of the Birds. Bottom of the second at the Metrodome. How would you like to be stuck in the Metrodome this afternoon on a beautiful day? Texas leads the Twins 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Terry Ryan, the general manager of the Twins, told us earlier this summer that things... Strike 3 called, and Leslie knew it. Myron Leslie is called out on strikes 2 away here in the Cougars 7th, and that strikeout for Carl Jelena is his 6th of the day. His 6th of the day. Terry Ryan was in Cedar Rapids earlier this summer to watch his minor leaguers, the Beloit Snappers, play the Kernels. Squaring to bunt and taking a strike is Javier Herrera. A breaking pitch from Jelena. Terry said things look better now than they have in 9 years for the Twins to build a retractable roof stadium. Curve, and Herrera rolls it foul into the Colonel third base dugout. Javier 0 for 2 today. 3-0 Kernels were in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kernels in their red knit tops with navy blue hats, gray road trousers, Kane County in white unis with black pinstripes, white shoes, and black socks. Here's a towering pop-up to the right side of the Colonel infield. Big Chris Walston to the left of first base, near where the grass meets the dirt of the infield, snares it. Javier Herrera has popped to first, and Carl Jelena continues his impressive and dominant performance here this afternoon. Jelena has now set down 7 in a row, has walked none, and given no runs, 6 strikeouts on 3 hits through 7 innings. Carl Jelena has been magnificent so far today. Quickly, let's give you the scores in the National League State Farm Major League scoreboard. 8th inning, Busch Stadium, Cubs 2, Cardinals 2. A final from Dixie at Turner Field. The Braves scalped the Mets 4-2, and it was the Nationals knocking off the Marlins at RFK 5-2. Everybody wrote Frank Robinson's team off. Never write anything led by Frank Robinson off. Frank Robinson is one of the best men in baseball. We go to the 8th inning, and the Colonels lead it over the Cougars 3-0. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
The home of high school football, The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM, takes the show on the road this fall. Join us for the Zone High School Tailgate Tour, sponsored by the Dave Berry Real Estate Team at Coldwell Banker. The Zone's UNASH is live from Washington High School this Friday at 3. It's a tailgate party with pep bands, cheerleaders, coaches interviews, and games, prizes, and stuff from Coca-Cola, iWireless, and lots more. Pick up your Penny Saver insert every Wednesday for the Zone High School Tailgate Tour, sponsored by the Dave Berry Real Estate Team at Coldwell Banker. It's your best source for Metro game info, including the Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM Friday night game of the week, a complete schedule of all the week's games, and valuable offers from our tailgate tour sponsors. So join us this Friday at 3 at Washington High School for the Zone Dave Berry Real Estate Team High School Tailgate Tour, only here on the home of high school football.
The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
I is for the massive amount of information at your fingertips. O is for the massive amount of information at your fingertips. W is for the massive amount of information at your fingertips.
Just read what's on the paper.
A is for... Oh, screw it. This is crap. Get somebody...
Put it all together and what do you get? One massive website with one wicked fixation on everything, Iowa.com. Make it your first stop.
Iowa.
And tell your friends.
.com.
Walson opening up the Colonel 8th with the Colonels ahead 3-0 on an 0-2 pitch. Test third baseman Myron Leslie for the fourth time this afternoon, and Myron's able to handle Chris's two-hopper. Throws Walson out, one away. Here's Sean Rodriguez, who has flown to left, fouled out to the catcher, struck out looking, facing J.R. Pickens for the first time. A curve is a strike called. Our Colonel Did You Know question, our final of the year, concerning a broadcaster, an ex-Pirate left-handed pitcher who accidentally put his foot in his mouth on June 8, 1989. It was the Pirates playing the Phillies at Old Betts Stadium in the city of brotherly love, and Jim Rooker was at the microphone for Pittsburgh. Strike 2 to Rodriguez, a slider. The Pirate broadcaster, Jim Rooker, told his listeners that he would walk home if the Pirates lost a 10-0 lead to the Phillies June 8, 1989 at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Strike 3, a breaking pitch on. Rodriguez looks to the heavens as if to say to Joe Dobo, the plate umpire, you have got to be kidding. But he's rung up, and there are 2 gone quickly here in the 8th inning. Well, you guessed it, the Phillies rallied for 15 runs. Well, let me reiterate that Rooker told his listeners that he'd walk home from Philadelphia if the Pirates lost their 10-0 lead to the Phils, and yes, the Phillies rallied for 15 runs to win the game 15-11. Jim Rooker, when the season ended, kept his word, stayed true to his promise, and he walked 315 miles between the 2 Pennsylvania cities, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. It took him 12 days. That's pretty good mileage. Strike 1 to Nate Sutton, who's 3 for 3, and now a swing and a tip foul at the feet of the catcher, David Castillo. 0-2. To Nate, who had 3 of the Colonel 6 hits off the departed starter, Trent Peterson. 3-0 Colonels. Nobody on, 2 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Colonels trying to finish the season on a very, very positive note. Ball 2 up and away from the right-hander. Later tonight, Seattle takes on the Athletics in the Bay Area. It'll be the Phillies in Houston at Citizens Bank Park, the Brewers and Reds at Great America, and the Giants and Dodgers. Here's a drive foul beyond the Colonel left field bullpen as Sutton made a bid to go 4 for 4. The Giants and Dodgers in that classic NL rivalry matchup, and that game will be on ESPN television tonight. So will be on national television the Miami Hurricane Florida State Seminole football game, and the Colonel Ball Club has a lot of jostling and gesturing going on about that matchup. Specifically, Richard Giannotti, a Miami Hurricane himself, embroiled in a gentleman's bet with Colonel strength and conditioning coach Jake Miller, who was a walk-on for Bobby Bowden's Seminoles. Nate walks. Nate Sutton on 3-2 pitch draws a 2-out pass, his 4th time in a row. The 4th time in a row he's reached today. Yeah, how about the start of the college football season? DeKalb is only 35 minutes from Geneva, and the Northern Illinois Huskies gave the Michigan Wolverines a very good game in the Big House on Saturday, and I've already predicted that Northern, as much as I love Northwestern, I think Northern Illinois will beat the Wildcats. A pitching change. J.R. Pickens is lifted. He goes an inning and 2/3, and he gives up 1 run so far on 2 base hits. Pickens struck out 1, and he issues the first Cougar walk. Now a left-hander is coming in for Kane County, and this is likely going to be Derek Tharp. Yes, they just activated him. Derek Tharp, T-H-A-R-P-E. Derek Tharp spent some time on the inactive list for disciplinary reasons. Derek Tharp. He's a small lefty. His record on the year, 2-7, 12 starts, and this is his 24th relief appearance, 2-7 with a 4.67 ERA, no saves. Tharp, in 90 2/3 innings, has given up 94 hits. Tharp has struck out 67, walked 26, and the league hitting .266 against lefty Derek Tharp. Well, on behalf of Sports Information Director Todd Brummelchamp, the entire Kernels front office and staff, we want to again, on Fan Appreciation Day this afternoon here in Geneva, Illinois, reiterate our genuine thanks and appreciation to all of you who supported the Kernels and a concept of wholesome, affordable family entertainment in 2005. It was a banner year, 186,000 fans, the second highest total in the 4-year history of the new ballpark. 184,000 fans, 184,000 fans, the second highest total in the 4-year history of the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. And it was just so gratifying to look into the stands during all 70 home games and see such a vast cross-section of families, business people, singles, elderly, seniors. It was just fabulous. And we have no one but to thank but you, and we do so wholeheartedly for your great support. Thank you, Colonel fans. Thank you so very, very much. 2 gone here in the 8th, 3-0 Kernels, and Freddy Sandoval, who's wrapped in, I said earlier there had been 2 double plays turned by the Cougars. They've actually turned 3, 2 ground ball double plays, and then Sandoval was called for interfering with the throw of catcher David Castilla as Nate Sutton was running in the 6th inning. That resulted in a double play. Let's see if Freddie can reach base for the first time this afternoon against lefty Derek Tharp. 3-0 Kernels. Well, let's go back to our did you know question. Jim Rooker, I still think, is with the Pirates. Here's a line drive cranked foul onto the grass slope seating berm down the left field line. Strike 1 to Freddie. He hit that ball right on the button. Jim Rooker was a very good left-handed pitcher for both the Royals and Pirates, but when his Pirates got ahead 10-0 in Philadelphia back in 1989, he boasted that he'd walk home if the Pirates blew that lead, and lo and behold, they did, and he stuck to his word and walked all. There goes the runner. They have him picked up, and the throw is high into left field by Eddie Kim, holding at second, Nate Sutton. Well, that's the second misplay on a pickoff by Eddie Kim, the big first baseman. In his defense, Tharp threw it high into the Cougar dugout side of the base, and Eddie had to reach high to prevent a wild throw from the pitcher. Then Kim cut loose with a pitch over the head of the shortstop, Cliff Pennington, into left field, allowing Sutton to reach second, and that'll be the second error charged to the first baseman, Eddie Kim, on pickoff plays involving Nate Sutton. That's a big play in this game because now a base hit by Sandoval would give the Kernels a 4-0 lead. A big yellow hammer, and it's strike 2 called. That pitch looked high, and Freddie turns his back to the plate umpire, kind of sending that message to Joe Lobo saying, hey, I thought that pitch was high. The 0-2 to Sandoval. Low and outside, another curveball. Carl Jelen is on the distance, and in 7 innings, he's blanked Kane County on 3 hits, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. Kernels up 3-0 here in the top of the 8th inning with Sutton at second. Freddie, a switch hitter batting right, 0 for 3 today, waits for the 1-2. And hits it deep to left, way back. It is a 2-run homer on top of the roof of the left field picnic pavilion. And the Kernels are ahead, 5-0. 4th of the year for Freddie, 3rd of the day for the Kernels. 5-0 Kernels as Freddy Sandoval launched one on top of the wooden roof of the picnic patio down the left field line. With Sutton aboard, and it's 5-0 Kernels here in the 8th inning. 3 home runs slugged by Kernels on the day. Freddy Sandoval, his 4th of the year. And you don't think these Kernels want to have a high note to end the season on? These guys are jacked. They are psyched. They want to leave the Chicagoland area with their heads held high. Ball 1 to Drew Toussaint. Now a swing and a miss on a changeup. Actually, the first pitch was a strike, and it's 0-2. Freddy Sandoval with his 4th of the year. Remember, one of them, an inside-the-park home run in the season's first half. And it's 5-0 Kernels here in the 8th inning. Ball 1, low and away from lefty Derek Tharp. I'm not at liberty to say really how badly the Kernels wanted to not only win this game, but to beat the team that's hosting them. As Todd alluded to earlier, there's not a great deal of respect and admiration on the Kernel part for the way the Cougars conduct themselves in the way they play the ball game. I'll just leave it at that. Here's a line drive, base hit down the line and left by Toussaint. Drew adds to the Kernel hit total. They now have 10, and Toussaint, a wide turn at first, hangs on. There's a certain way that the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim demand and expect the game be played. And that way is not that you'll win every game. That's ridiculous. It's that you'll do certain things professionally. Take batting practice with your shirt tucked in. Take batting practice with your hat worn properly. Run out ground balls. Shag batting practice. When it's your turn to shag, you go out and shag. Well, those things aren't as important to the Oakland Athletic Organization, and it's a difference in philosophy. And the Kernels are very proud of the way the Angels demand and expect the game be played. Mike Mitchell, a right-hander, has come on to take over for Derek Tharp. Derek retires no batters, and has given up 1 run on 2 hits. Derek struck out none, walked none, and coming on Mike Mitchell, he's from the St. Louis area. Mike Mitchell taking over for the Cougars here in the 8th inning. The other thing I'll tell you that the Kernel staff told these ball players is, you guys have worked hard all season long. This game is important for the integrity of the game. A 500 season is at stake for you guys. As Todd said, the opportunity perhaps for some of the guys, it'll be determined not by this one game, but certainly how the guys approach this one game is, are they guys that the Angels will invite back to spring training? Will they be candidates for the Rancho Cucamonga roster, Arkansas, or perhaps need more seasoning here in the Midwest League? Most importantly, for the integrity of the game, remember how we were scoreboard watching the last 2 weeks? Well, I can guarantee you that Kevin Bowles' crew with the Beloit Snappers and Scott Steinman's crew with Wisconsin, they played hard every game. And the Kernels are trying and are doing the same thing here this afternoon. They know they have big say in whether this ball club they're playing will go to the playoffs. And they would prefer, based on the way the game is supposed to be played, that Kevin Bowles' ball club in Beloit have that opportunity. Todd Brummelkamp, am I fair in my assessment? Okay, Todd does agree. And again, I'm not here to be critical of Oakland. They've proven year after year that their way works. It's just that their way is a little bit different. Nothing wrong with being different, as long as you respect the game. Here's Jordan Renz against Mitchell, and a strike called. Jordan would love to reach on a base hit. That would give him a 2-for-4 afternoon and give him a chance to finish the season above that 200 mark. He's batting .198. He broke a scoreless tie with the home run leading off the 5th inning. Swing and a miss by Renz on a breaking pitch from Mike Mitchell, strike 2. Right-hander Mike Mitchell on the hill for the Cougars. As I said, he's from the St. Louis area. He's a lean, trim, tall right-hander, and he's ahead of Jordan Renz. No balls, 2 strikes. Ball 1 is outside. Mike was taken by Oakland in the 35th round out of St. Charles Community College. And he's 23 years old. Mike Mitchell from the stretch with Toussaint at first. Is Drew running? No. And a check swing, the pitch taken low and away. 2-2 to Jordan Renz. Oh, yes, it would be wonderful to finish the second half at 35-35. 5-0 Kernels here in the top of the 8th inning. Strike 3 called, outside corner to Jordan. The Kernels strike for 2 runs on 2 hits in the 8th inning. 1 Cougar error. Remember that error by Eddie Kim allowed the inning to continue, and Freddy Sandoval made the Cougars pay by belting a 2-run homer, his 4th of the season, the Kernel 3rd of the day. After 7.5 at Philip Elstrom Stadium, Kernels 5, Cougars nothing. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Yes, Cedar Rapids, thanks again for stepping up to the plate and increasing the amount of materials you're recycling. Almost 8,800 tons last year alone. Wow! But we can always do more. The folks at Solid Waste and Recycling remind you, most paper products, cardboard, metals, and glass containers can be recycled. Then you'll be doing your part to reduce waste and save landfill space.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, 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 very much.
Coffee works when it's important to you. Coffee works, let your work shine through. When you think of copies, think of CopyWorks. High-speed copying, color copies, oversized copies, manuals, booklets, graphic design, posters, banners, and presentations. CopyWorks does it better. When it's important to you, CopyWorks lets your work shine through. When you think of copies, think of CopyWorks. It's the JCPenney Salon Fall Color Event. Save 10% on all color services. Featuring Matrix, #1 professional hair color. From auburn to gold to crimson to chestnut, we'll create your rich, vibrant look for fall with our uniquely personalized 3-step approach. Consult, create, and maintain. Call today, 800-542-5565 for locations, and save 10% on all color services. Your life, your hair. JCPenney Salon. Some exclusions apply. See show for details. Sale on September 24th.
John Rogers with Kernel Sports Information Director Todd Brummelkamp alongside. Philip Elstrom Stadium, sparkling, sunny, gorgeous Labor Day afternoon. Bottom of the 8th inning, lower 3rd of the order for the Cougars, starting with Tommy Everidge. Carl Jelena has gotten Everidge twice, once on a line drive to left, and the other time on a strike 3 looking. Strike 1 at the knees. To Tommy Everidge. The Kernels have out-hit Kane County 10-3 and lead this game 5-0 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Everidge nubs one to shallow third. This will be a difficult play. Freddy Sandoval cannot make it in time. Freddy was very, very adept at even getting at that ball. It was nubbed to the left side of the infield. Freddy and Sandoval came pinching in on it, and Freddy could not get it out of his glove after he did field it, and his throw to first not in time. It's an infield single. The 4th hit of the day for the Cougars. Leading off the 8th inning, Tommy Everidge has a little old infield single. According to Todd Brummelkamp, with Jordan Renz's 1-for-4 day, and Jordan broke a scoreless tie with his 9th home run of the year leading off the 5th, his average stands at 198.3. And Todd does have a calculator. But no matter how Renz's average comes out, his power or his production for that kind of average is phenomenal. 9 homers, 55 RBIs for a guy hitting just under 200. If Jordan can get a hit in one more at bat, his average would go to 205. So hopefully the Kernels can have a big top of the 9th inning and bat around. If they did that, Renz would get one more at bat. Fouling one into the backstop, David Castillo. He's been able to solve Carl Jelena. He's 2 for 2. And a fastball has Castillo jackknifing out of the way. David bats from a very low squat. Stands straight away from the right side. In 31 games, Castillo batting 189, but he's 2 for 2 this afternoon. 1 homer, 9 RBIs for David Castillo. Jelena comes set at the belt. And a pop-up right towards the mound. Carl is pointing to it. Now he dashes over to first base, and coming in behind the mound, right behind the hill, the glove, Nate Sutton. Well, the Kernels couldn't have asked for better communication on that pop-up behind the mound. Jelena pointed skyward to pinpoint it. Then he scurried to his left to cover first base. Nate Sutton called for it, and Nate tucked it away right behind the hill for the first out of the 8th inning. 5-0 Kernels. David Castillo retired for the first time this afternoon. That brings in a real thorn in the Kernels' side, Gregorio Petit. He's fouled to third and flown to left. 6 hits in this series for the number 9 hitter. Beautiful Uncle Charlie. Strike one called to number 13, Petit. Oh, I want to dovetail on what Todd Brummelkamp said. I can't believe the season's coming to an end here this afternoon. 5 months. A breaking pitch looked good, but it was called a ball. We started in early April. We're ending in early September. And we're going to wind up, it looks possibly like 1 game out of a playoff berth. But this ball club really made it fun down the stretch. A line drive over the head of Rodriguez into left center for a base hit. Had Sean been playing just a few steps deeper, he'd have caught it, but he was playing in a bit on the front side of the dirt, or back side of the dirt, and left high, but couldn't get it. 7th hit of the series for you-know-who, Gregorio Petit. Isn't it funny how some guys just wear you out? The lead runner, Tommy Everidge, stops at second. Here comes Kernan Ronan, the Kernel pitching coach. The Kernels have a right-hander up in their bullpen, Miguel Gonzalez. Now, I'm not sure what Kernan Ronan could be doing now. He has his arm across the shoulder of Greg Deeney and Carl Jelena. Perhaps he's telling Carl, the plan is to get you through the 8th inning, so whatever you have left, or maybe it's something mechanical. I could doubt that because Carl's so sound mechanically, or it could be pitch selection. Or it could just be a word encouragement. Carl, a scratch single to lead the inning off, and then a line drive. You got a double play possibility in order. Who knows what Kernan Ronan said? Whatever it was short and to the point, and now Cliff Pennington is at the plate. He's 0 for 3, switch hitter batting left. He's struck out twice. Strike one called, a fastball. Boy, this has been a fun day for Greg Deeney, the catcher. Whatever he's thrown down, Carl Jelena has nodded agreement with. Carl comes set. With 2 on and 1 out, here's a drive into the left center field alley. Toussaint is back and has room and makes the play. Drew Toussaint had that one in his sights the whole way. He glided back into his left and in front of the warning track. Toussaint one-handed it. Cliff Pennington's drive is caught. When it left the bat, I thought it was big trouble, but Toussaint got over quickly into the left center field gap and hauled it in. 2 away here in the Cougar 8th inning. Runners remain at first and second. 5-0 Kernels. The batter, Blasi, B-L-A-S-I. I'm telling you, if the Kernels can hang on and bag this one, it'll be a very exuberant Tri-State Travel Motor Club drive home across the plains and prairie of Illinois. Curve is a strike call to Nick Blasi. Carl Jelena works so economically and effortlessly. He is probably a guy that a kinesiologist would like to study for the most efficient way to pitch. So little wasted motion, so fluid, so smooth. Strike 2 called on the outside corner to Blasi, who steps out, tightens his black batting gloves. Nick uses a black lacquer bat and wears a black batting helmet. Everidge at second, Petit at first. Jelena has struck out 6. Fastball upstairs. Ball 1. They're having fun at Busch Stadium this afternoon, the Cardinals and Cubs. Final visit to Busch Stadium by the Cubs. And man, have there been fun games over the last 4 decades plus. Curve and a one-hop shot to Walston. He bobbles it, underhands to Jelena for the out. Oh, Chris Walston held his ground as Blasi laced one hard on one hop. Big Chris Walston blocked it, bobbled it, picked it up, underhanded to Jelena. And to show you how much Greg Deeney respects Carl's pitching, Greg Deaney's waiting in front of the Colonel dugout to high-five Carl Jelena. That put-out went waltzed into the pitcher 3-1 to end the eighth-inning threat mustered by the Cougars. No runs for Kane County in the eighth, 2 hits, a pair of singles, no Colonel errors, and the Cougars leave a pair. They've stranded 5. After 8 innings at Philip Elstrom Stadium, it's the Kernels on top of Kane County, 5-0. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
There's a reason Dick Ramsey is the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company, Skogman Realty. It's because Dick Ramsey works harder for you than anyone to make selling your home easy for you. Take Dick's one-of-a-kind home trade program. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes and Dick will buy yours. Dick Ramsey provides 2 other unparalleled services: a free 1-hour telephone loan approval and a free 1-hour telephone appraisal on your property. Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty, the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company.
Okay, people, what do we have?
Male patient trying to get a loan for a car.
They're checking his credit now.
What's the status?
Looks like he's got some credit problems.
Seen this before. What's his credit score?
He doesn't know, doctor.
What? He went for a loan without knowing his credit score?
We're losing the loan.
All right, I'm going to call it.
How's your financial health? Find out with Score Power from Equifax. You'll get your Equifax credit report, credit score, and you'll learn how your credit decisions can affect your score. All for just $14.95. It's the first step toward healthy credit. So don't wait. Check out Score Power at Equifax.com or call 1-800-4-EQUIFAX now. That's EQUIFAX. Equifax.
Doctor, there's a woman trying to buy a house without her credit score.
It's an epidemic.
Get Score Power from Equifax.com. And while you're there, play the Equifax Live Your Dreams sweepstakes for a chance to win $1 million. No purchase necessary, void where prohibited, and subject to official rules.
207-583.
Our guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, Ron Klein, eagerly trying to get a score from Pullman Field in Beloit. And thanks to Todd Brummelkamp, Colonel Sports Information Director, we can tell you that Beloit is ahead of the Timber Rattlers 4-1. That coupled with the Colonel 5-0 lead here at Philip Elstrom Stadium. If those 2 scores hold, the Colonels will play the role of spoiler to the hilt, knocking Kane County out of the playoffs. But a long way to go before that scenario comes true in this game of baseball. You never, ever, ever speculate as to what could happen. Mike Mitchell is even on the count to Warner Madrigal, who belted his 2nd home run in as many games, shooting one over the right field wall. Back in the 7th inning, the 2nd Colonel home run of the day, Freddy Sandoval's 2-run blast, his 4th of the year, with 2 out in the 8th inning, was the Colonel's 3rd home run. Renz broke a scoreless tie with his 9th in the 5th inning. Strike 2 to Madrigal from Mike Mitchell. Hadn't had a chance to tell you what Mitchell has done this season. This is his 19th appearance. He has 3 saves and a 3.42 ERA. No wins, no losses for the lucky right-hander, Mike Mitchell. 6'2", 190. And his fastball is low. He thought he had Madrigal struck out by the looks of his body language. 9th inning. Carl Jelena and the Kernels blanking the Cougars 5-0. Warner pops it foul off to the right. And again, what great competitive spirit from this Colonel Ball Club. They weren't coming here today to go through the motions or to have one foot on the Tri-State Travel Motor Coach. No, sir. That was not the intent or purpose of them suiting up today. Madrigal bashes the next one, a payoff pitch into the screen. Full count. I know how proud Jack Rader, the Colonel General Manager, is of this ball club. He told us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show when the ball club went 7-1 on the 8-game road trip to Clinton and Burlington that he thought that in itself was an accomplishment of the highest magnitude, considering the Colonels had lost Alexi Casilla. A slider, and that one is fouled away into the screen. So Mike Mitchell having quite a tug-of-war with Warner Madrigal, who steps out and tightens his batting gloves. Warner's one-out homer in the 7th inning made it 3-0 Colonels, and it went over the right field wall. This guy is some kind of strong, Warner Madrigal. And I bet he doesn't lift many. a chopper foul toward the Colonel third base dugout. I shouldn't say that. I would think, what I'm trying to say is I bet a lot of his strength comes from his genetic makeup. Of course he lifts weights. Does he do it vociferously? I'm not sure. Some of the Latin guys aren't into the weight room as much as guys from other parts of the world. Other Latin guys love the weight room. It just varies on how a guy is brought up. Warner fouls one over the screen right back here and into the aluminum back bleachers. 5-0 Kernels. Warner Madrigal is fouled away 4-5. 2-strike pitches from Cougar right-hander Mike Mitchell. Kane County has been limited to 5 hits in 8 innings and no walks from Carl Jelena. He could be an 11-game winner. Wouldn't that be something? Swing and another foul. Madrigal just cued it off the end of the stick, and it thumped on the padded base of the grandstand behind home plate. What a way to end the summer and look ahead to the fun of fall on a gorgeous Labor Day afternoon. Sun shining the entire day. Ball 4. That is probably the best at bat for Warner Madrigal this season. He worked and worked and worked, and he built the walk. I thought for a moment Joe Dobo was going to ring him up on a borderline fastball. They ruled it outside. My friend Todd Brummelkamp, I'll tell you what, Todd, I want to see if we can arrange for a hitch for your Mustang convertible. My friend, you look pale right now. I know you are not feeling well. And believe me, the ball club, I pointed to you. I know it's not polite to point, but I pointed to you. When I looked to the left, you arrived right before us. Here's a high fly ball down the left field line by Sutton. I know it's hard to see, or by LeBlanc. I know it's hard to see through those tinted windows of the bus, but when I pointed to you, the whole bus kind of chirped, "Hey, Todd's here, Todd's here." And then that wisecracker guest of ours on the South Communications Triple Play Show, Ron Klein, the Roadrunner, chimed in with a classic, unbelievable line. Double play ball to second, Petit to Pennington, Cliff to first for the fourth double play of the day. Turned by King County. LeBlanc hit it sharply on one hop to Gregorio Petit, who started the 4-6-3 twin killing. In other words, when everybody was real jazzed up to see Todd, Roadrunner, sitting in the manager's seat up front, said, "Yeah, Todd's here. So what? You want to go out and hold his hand?" So he kind of put a spoiler on the whole thing. And the bus showered him with a chorus of boos and "Keep your mouth shut. Who do you think you are, the manager?" Because Rhodey sat in the manager's seat today. Bobby Magallanes had to take his wife to the airport this morning to fly back to Arizona. That line was right up there with Rhodey getting on the Tri-State Travel Motor Coach after a win in Clinton. Somebody yelled out, I think it was T.J. Stanton, "Who's your daddy?" And right on cue, Rhodey said, "He's right here." But Ron gave the ball club great praise during his South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, telling our listeners how nice the guys are and how hard-working they are and how diligent they are about keeping the clubhouse clean. 1-1 to Greg Deeney. Strike 2 called. Greg has his first Colonel RBI in his 9th game. He dumped a Texas League single just inside the right field foul line to score Josh LeBlanc in the Colonel 2-run 5th inning. Mike Mitchell ahead of Deeney, right-handed hitting Colonel catcher, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Greg takes outside, ball 2. So there was some fun and frolic on the Tri-State Travel Motor Coach as Todd Brummelkamp's arrival stirred the attention of the troops. And, of course, Ron had to chime in with his wisecrack. A high pop-up off the end of the bat. Eddie Kim underneath it in foul ground next to Justin Hockman, the Colonel's coach, and Eddie Kim makes the play to end the inning. Greg Deeney has fouled out to first. A walk, a double play, no runs, no hits for the Colonels. no Cougar errors in the ninth, and the Kernels leave the bases empty. The Kernels have left 3 men on this afternoon and take a 5-0 lead into the bottom of the ninth inning, trying to combine with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, or with the Beloit Snappers rather, to knock Kane County out of the playoffs. We go to the bottom of the ninth, 5-0 Kernels. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
Honey, be careful. You know my brother does that for a living.
No problem. Just one more brick and this chimney will be good as new.
I'll, call my brother.
Need a home equity loan? Talk to your guarantee banker for a loan that's right for your kind of life.
Oh! What's the matter, John?
Look at these checking fees.
Look what we spend on stamps for our bills.
Need free checking and a whole lot more? See your guarantee banker for the checking and online bill pay solutions that are right for your kind of life.
Honey, I got the promotion.
Wonderful! Oh, but our house is way too small for a vice president.
What?
I saw this antebellum. 6 bedrooms, 4 baths, marble countertops in the kitchen, a jacuzzi, mahogany cabinets in the butler's pantry, a 3-car garage, and a nanny suite.
Nanny?
Need a mortgage? Talk to your guarantee banker for a loan that's right for your kind of life.
Guarantee Bank. For your kind of life.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Travelocity presents the Roaming Gnome, denouncer of travel myths. Our first myth: when summer's over, so are the deals.
Ooh-wee. Travelocity's having their sale of the year on oodles of stuff.
Myth number 2: it only takes minutes to get sunburned.
Fiddlesticks, I've been sunbathing all day. Hey, look, fella. Ah, my back!
Spectacular savings on airfare, cruises, hotels, and more. Visit Travelocity.com/big sale for details. Restrictions apply. Travelocity. You'll never roam alone.
We move to the bottom of the ninth inning. Carl Jelena will be allowed to try to complete what he started, and he'll face the heart of the Cougar order, starting with Travis Buck, left-handed hitter. Ground ball off the side of the mound is short. Up the middle, Rodriguez throws low, but digging it out with Chris Walston. Digging it out, Chris Walston. Travis Buck, first pitch swinging, is wrapped out up the middle to Sean Rodriguez. 1 away here in the ninth inning, 5-0 Kernels. Oh, that was an unheralded play, but duly noted and appreciated by Chris Walston as he had to dig a nasty throw out of the dirt from Sean Rodriguez, who fielded the ground ball, hit off the side of the mound cleanly near the bag at second. 1 pitch, 1 out. Carl Jelena is trying to hurl the Kernels to the 500 mark in the second half and earn his 11th win of the year, and possibly knock Kane County out of the playoffs. There's ball 1 low from the Colonel right-hander. Carl Jelena, one of 2 French-Canadian-speaking players, along with relief pitcher Michel Samar on this Colonel ball club. Strike 1 on the outside corner to husky burly left-handed slugger Eddie Kim. Jelena hasn't been speaking English or French this afternoon. He's been talking business. Line drive! Sutton has it. Line drive. Nate moved quickly to his left and snares it. And there are 2 gone here in the ninth inning. The Kernels 1 out away from a 500 second half. 1 out away from a shutout win. 1 out away from a golden moment in their season. Can the Kernels dispose of the Cougars and knock them out of a playoff berth? That's what they're hoping for. Myron Leslie stands in. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 3 home runs hit today by the Kernels. Wren's his 9th. Madrigal is 15th. Sandoval is 4th. Myron Leslie, switch hitter, batting left. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. As Sports Information Director Todd Rommelkamp told you, there are a number of Colonel fans here this afternoon. A number up the first baseline. Foul keeps Myron Leslie alive, 0-2. Well, as lousy and sick as Todd Brummelkamp is and feels, he is on cloud 9 right now. He's standing next to me, and he, like all of us, are rooting for Carl Jelena and the Kernels. The 0-2 pitch to Myron Leslie. Swing and a foul straight back. That was Leslie's wheelhouse. Carl Jelena challenged him. Oh, no. Well, I'll refrain. Oh, brother, somebody's mistaken our equipment manager for a coach, but that's happened before. The 0-2 from Jelena. Swing swing and a miss, and the Colonels end the season, knocking off Kane County, shutting them out 5-0. 5-0 Colonels. Wow, Carl Jelena is mobbed by his teammates. He spins a complete game shutout and helps the Colonels end the season 535-35. That is a happy crew of ball players between the mound and second base. The Colonels win it 5-0 behind a 5-hit shutout by Carl Jelena. Jelena fanned Myron Leslie for his 7th strikeout, and the Colonels end the season 35-35. Wow, what a moment to embrace for this Colonel Ball Club. Carl Jelena in the receiving line between the mound and second. Colonels 5, Cougars nothing. Totals, highlights, and more next on the Colonel Curtain Call here in the Zone.
What's everyone saying to a great taste from Papa John's? Aloha! To find out why, we went straight to the source. Hey, Papa John, what makes your Hawaiian barbecue chicken and your barbecue chicken and bacon pizza so good?
Both pizzas are made with tender white grilled chicken breast, hickory smoked bacon, and fresh sliced onion. Plus, go Hawaiian for an added taste of juicy pineapple.
Try Papa John's barbecue chicken and bacon pizza and Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizza featuring delicious pineapple. Your choice, just $11.99. $11.99. Call now or order online at papajohns.com. While you're there, play Click and Win. Enter to win a 2005 Ford Mustang GT. See store or website for details. Limited delivery area. Charges may apply. Papa John's barbecue chicken and bacon pizza and Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizza. Your choice, $11.99. Just $11.99.
Taste the difference. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
It's time for the Colonel's Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Colonels game, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Back on Labor Day and a fantastic finish to the Colonel second half behind Carl Jelena's 5-hit shutout. 7 strikeout, no walk performance, his 11th win of the season. The Colonels blast 3 home runs and thwart the Cougars 5-0. Wow, what a fantastic finish to this second half. The Colonels in their last 16 games went 11-5. 11-5 down the stretch. Carl Jelena with the complete game, 5-hit, 7 strikeout, no walk performance here this afternoon. It was something indeed to behold, and we're glad you were with us here in the Zone for the final regular season game of the 2000 campaign. John Rogers with you, and the first portion of the Colonel Curtain Call has us summarizing the afternoon scoring. Kane County got a bunt single and a stolen base from Nick Blasey in the first inning, trying to take the lead, but Jelena got the next 2 Cougars, Buck and Kim, to ground out. After setting Kane County down in order in the second inning, David Castillo, who had 2 of the Cougar 5 hits, doubled leading off the third inning, but Carl Jelena retired the next 3 Cougar hitters. That gave the Colonels a huge shot of momentum as Jelena prevented the Cougars from scoring in the third inning after a leadoff double by David Castillo. Jordan Renz belted his 9th home run of the season leading off the 5th inning, and gave the Colonels a 1-0 lead today. After Madrigal went down swinging, Josh LeBlanc doubled past first down the right field line, advanced to third on a Dave Castillo pass ball, scored on a Greg Deeney Texas League single down the right field line. Deeney's run driven in, his first as a Colonel, made it 2-0 Colonels. It remained 2-0 until the 7th inning. With 1 out, Warner Madrigal went the other way and hammered his 15th home run of the year over the right field wall. Number 15 for Warner, his second in as many days, and it was 3-0 Colonels. Then in the 8th inning, with 2 out, Nate Sutton walked. The Cougars had it ticked off, but Eddie Kim's throw to second sailed over the head of the shortstop Pennington into left, and that allowed Freddy Sandoval to face left-hander Derek Tharp, and Tharp on the mound Freddy Sandoval belted a 2-run homer in the 8th inning, his 4th of the year, the third Kernel blast of the day to make it 5-0 Kernels. Carl Jelena didn't encounter any more trouble until the 8th inning. He gave up an infield single to Tommy Everidge. 1 out later, Gregorio Petit lined a single into left center, so the Cougars down 5-0 in the 8th had runners at first and second, 1 out, but Jelena got Cliff Pennington to fly to deep left center and Nick Blasey to ground out Walston to Jelena covering. Carl then completed his complete game gem by retiring the Cougars in order in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the final line score. For the Kernels, 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The Kernels left 3. Kane County, no runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. The Cougars stranded 5. Winning pitcher Carl Jelena, 11-8. The loser for Kane County was their starter Trent Peterson. He's 3-3. The game only took 2 hours and 22 minutes, and there was a crowd of 6,119 here to see the Kernels knock Kane County out of the playoffs, because in the bottom of the 8th, Beloit is hammering the Wisconsin Timberwolves 8-1, so it'll be the Snappers and the Swing of the Quad Cities to join Clinton and Wisconsin in the Western Division playoffs starting Wednesday evening. 5-0 Kernels behind Carl Jelena. We'll be back in just a moment with our Access Direct plays of the game. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
Behind a 5-hit, 7-strikeout, no-walk gem, a complete game victory for Carl Jelena, the Kernels blank Kane County 5-0, finished the second half of the season 35-35, winning 11 of their last 16. What a glorious day for the Kernels to shine. Now, thanks to thanks to Access Direct, we bring you our Access Direct plays of the game. Access Direct is looking for team players. They have been this spring, all summer, and they still are in the fall. What do they have to offer? Well, how about an benefit package at Access Direct that's out of this world? The benefits at Access Direct include an $8.50 out starting wage, casual dress, 401k savings plan, fun, friendly atmosphere, medical, dental, vision insurance. Those benefits are tops at Access Direct. Access Direct is looking to fill full and part-time schedules. To call or to join the team at Access Direct, call them at 261-0260, 261-0260, or log on to their website, www.accdir.com. Our first Access Direct play of the game scoreless, top of the 5th inning. Jordan Renz at the plate, and Kernel Sports Information Director Todd Brummelkamp at the mic. Here's our first Access Direct play of the game.
There's a high fly ball. It could be. There's no doubt about it. That ball is off the picnic deck. Home run for Jordan Renz, and he got that hit in a big way.
We're going to repeat that because I want you to listen for the bat striking the pitch of lefty Trent Peterson. Again, this is our first Access Direct play of the game. Todd Brummelkamp with the call. No score. Jordan Renz batting 1 out leading off in the 5th inning. Listen for the sound of the crack.
There's a high fly ball. It could be. There's no doubt about it. That ball is off the picnic deck. Home run for Jordan Renz, and he got that hit in a big way. Jordan Renz getting a hold of a 1-1 pitch from Trent Peterson and depositing it 345 feet down the left field line because the Kernels a 1-0 lead.
Yes, Todd Brummelkamp with our first of 2 Access Direct plays of the game. Jordan Renz with his 9th of the year. It was the first of 3 Colonel long balls. Warner Madrigal with a solo shot over the right field wall in the 7th would make it 3-0 Colonels. And our second and final Access Direct play of the game came in the Colonel 8th inning with 2 out. Freddy Sandoval faced left-hander Derek Tharp. Let's pick up the action there.
3-0 here in top of the 8th inning with Sutton at second. Freddy, a switch hitter batting right, 0 for 3 today, waits for the 1-2. And hits it deep to left, way back. It is a 2-run homer on top of the roof of the left field picnic pavilion. And the Colonels are ahead, 5-0. 4th of the year for Freddy, 3rd of the day for the Colonels.
You could hear the Colonel fans in the background cheering, and that's the score by which the Colonels won it behind Carl Jelena, 5-0. We'll have a final word, including the State Farm Major League scoreboard, the thoughts of Colonel Sports Information Director Todd Brummelkamp. I didn't get the sentence out of my mouth. What I'm proposing is that we call AAA and have Todd's car pulled behind us so that he does not have to drive feeling so sick. But we'll see what Todd thinks of that idea. Our final segment of Colonel Curtain Call just ahead, 5-0 Colonels. You're listening to Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
I'm Dave Shea. For 35 years, I was news anchor for Channel 2. Now, with gas prices at $2 a gallon, check out Randy Kiel Honda and save with great fuel mileage on all Hondas in stock. The safest family sedan, the Honda Accord, will definitely save the family pocketbook with 34 miles to the gallon. Get even better mileage with a compact Civic, getting you there at 38 miles to the gallon. Or check the amazing fuel mileage of the Honda Civic Hybrid, 38 miles to the gallon, and that's in city driving. Randy Kiel Honda has a large selection of pre-owned Hondas, too, all with exceptional fuel mileage. Check them out at www.randykiel.com. Also, Randy Kiel offers a 7-year, 100,000-mile confidence guarantee on new vehicles. You can take my word for it, but you may also want to talk with other Honda owners. They're people you know, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your relatives. I'm saving on gas prices by driving my Honda, and you can too. See Randy Kiel Honda on Center Point Road Northeast.
We're back at Phil Elstrom Stadium, where the Colonels just don't want to take those red uniform tops off. T.J. Stanton is talking with some fans in the third base seats. The Colonels ended on a very, very gratifying note, a 5-0 complete game win. That, coupled with Beloit's 8-1 thumping in the 8th inning of Wisconsin, will mean that the Colonel victory not only brought Jelena a shutout 11th win of the season, a 35-35 record. The Colonels played the role of sport and knocking out the Cougars from the playoffs. Before a final word from Todd Brummelkamp, let's check scores thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, and Dale Thompson. State Farm Major League scoreboard, American League this afternoon in a game that was played in 11 o'clock start time at Fenway Park. It was the White Sox whipping the Red Sox 5-3. The Indians blanked the Tigers at Comerica today 2-0. Memorial Day baseball, Battle of the Birds, Blue Jays and Orioles at Camden Yards, and it was Toronto flying over the Orioles 6-2. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning at the Metrodome. Rangers lead the Twins 2-0. Top of the 6th inning at the Coliseum in Oakland, no score, Seattle and the Athletics. A final from Busch Stadium, it was the Cardinals turning back the Cubs 6-4. Today at Turner Field, the Braves scalped the Mets 4-2. And this afternoon, Frank Robinson's Never Say Die Nationals toppled the Marlins 5-2. Later this evening, Philadelphia hosts the Astros. It's the Brewers and Reds on the banks of the Ohio River at Great America Ballpark, and the classic NL rivalry between the Giants and Dodgers renews itself later tonight on ESPN at Chavez Ravine. Thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Lanny Peterson, Al Shetler, and Dale Thompson for another great year of sponsorship of the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Todd Brummelkamp, you dashed out of here to see what the mood was in the dugout and clubhouse, and from all accounts, the Colonels are riding high.
John, a little bittersweet, but that's understandable. They took really very little comfort in knowing that they had kept Kane County out of the playoffs. They would much rather be in themselves, but very, very pleased to end the season on a high note. Carl Jelen, a complete game shutout. He was sitting at the end of the dugout, exhausted, absolutely beaming from ear to ear. Jordan Renz came up to me commenting on the fact that he fell just shy of the 200 mark. Even Jordan was in a lighthearted mood. That home run that he belted had a lot to do with that. Just a light atmosphere down in the dugout. It should be a very, very happy Tri-State Travel Coach bus ride back to Cedar Rapids tonight. And now you have a team that you, for all intents and purposes, have had together for most everybody has been together for the entire season. And 25 guys now go 25 separate ways. Some go to instructional leagues, some go back home. I heard Freddy Sandoval talking about playing in Mexico, which is where Miguel Gonzalez will head. Everyone heads off in their different direction. And, you know, some guys may come back next year, but the 2005 Kernels are done for. It's in the books. And this was a fun team. 10 games under 500 on the season. They fought back valiantly to finish 500 in the second half. We had some remarkable highlights to point to this season. Fernando Rodriguez and Carl Jelen, as you mentioned, absolutely durable out there. The glove work of Freddy Sandoval, the all-around play of Sean Rodriguez, the undescribable ability of Michael Collins to stay lighthearted and share his thoughts with you in a way only Michael can, as well as leading the team in hitting. But what a great way to end the season. Of course, it started with these same Kane County Cougars. We went to extra innings on opening day, and Kane County handed the Kernels a 7-4 loss. Now the shoe is on the other foot, so to speak, and neither team will be going to the playoffs, but the Kernels can always look back on this last game of the regular season and hang their hat on the fact that they completely outplayed the Cougars in every facet of the game.
Todd, I want to thank you not only for this afternoon, but for the entire season. I remember Jack Rader asking all of us to comment after the first homestand about what went well and what didn't, and I know it wasn't easy to get BAM up and running. There were frustrations, but you have a wit and a sense of humor and a knowledge of baseball, the depths of which I've never known for a kid, and I can call you that your age. And I wanted to thank you on behalf of our fans for making this such a good season on and off the field. We all are sad to see the season end, but we are all so grateful for the Kernel fans that supported us and made it a banner year at the ballpark, and certainly want to echo your sentiments about the nature of this ball club. Not only wonderful prospects as baseball players, but just terrific young men that the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim should be very, very proud of. And they really, really did shine here this afternoon to make it a memorable Labor Day in Geneva. Todd, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, John. It's been an absolute pleasure, and now we'll turn our attention to the off-season and trying to make 2006 an even better year than 2005, and that's going to be awfully tough to do, but I think we can do it.
I do, too. Thanks to our in-studio engineer, Sean Patty, for all of his great work on Labor Day. It was a wonderful season, ended on a terrific note. Carl Jelen 5-hit, 7-strikeout, no-walk shutout of the Kane County Cougars to bring the Kernels to a 35-35 record in the second half. For Sports Information Director Todd Brummelkamp, this is John Rogers wishing you a great next 7 months. We'll greet you next in early April. Todd, a final note, the tentative schedule calls for the Kernels to open where?
We should open the season on the road in Beloit for 4 games before we come home. So,
but we'll
greet you from Pullman Field, I guess.
I know you're using every ounce of strength you have left. I know you're not feeling well. Thank you so much. And yes, we'll see you throughout the off-season, including the Hot Stove Banquet. 5-0 Kernels. So long. Have a great fall and winter, and we'll be back with you next spring. This has been Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.